Tonight, for the final time, Syracuse's seniors like Matt Kataya play a regular season game in the Carrier Dome. Kataya, a senior from Homer, tallied a hat trick in Saturday's 16-7 pounding of Pennsylvania, giving him 27 goals for the season. Freshman Josh Kaufman also scored 3 goals in the victory. Tonight, Orangemen, young and old, tangle with defending national champion Princeton next. A beautiful day outside the Carrier Dome for lacrosse, but we'll be indoors beneath the Carrier Dome's original Teflon roof. Super Sports presents NCAA Lacrosse. The Syracuse Orangemen host the Princeton Tigers in the Carrier Dome on the campus of Syracuse University. The Orange come in ranked 4th in the nation and 7-2 on the season. The defending national champion Princeton Tigers come into the Dome at 6-3. Great to have you with us on Super Sports tonight for what should be a fantastic game. Along with Dale Dreifulcher, I'm Ted DeLuca. Dale, Princeton, the team that knocked Syracuse out of the NCAA tournament last year. The Orangemen have been looking forward to this game ever since.
And, they didn't overlook Penn the other day, and they've played 2 games in 2 days, as has the Princeton Tigers. So it will be interesting, but you're right, there's a revenge factor. You can kind of feel it down on the field, but I'm sure Princeton is also looking forward to coming back and knocking off Syracuse after having kind of maybe for them, a little mediocre season.
Do you expect a slow-down style, a slower tempo played by the Princeton Tigers, already crowned the Ivy League champions?
Well, yeah, when I say that, a mediocre season, I'm talking about nationally. They have won their Ivy League crown again, but they run a defense that's complicated, that really puts a lot of pressure. You don't get a lot of good shots off. They don't really slow the ball down, but they really are a very good defensive team that really causes a lot of problems for other teams' offenses.
Let's meet the key players now. First, for Princeton, one of their outstanding offensive players, number 4, Josh Sims.
When you talk to the Syracuse coaches, they think that Josh Sims, their team excluded, one of the best players in the country. He's got 19 goals and 8 assists, but they just say this kid is good. He is the real deal, and they are very, very much mindful of his ability when they're going to go out and defend him. Josh Sims, a key. And the other guy that's going to be the last man in line, Rob Mulligan, who had a terrific game against Penn, really come along. He's gotten better as the season's gone on, does a great job getting the outlet pass. Robbie Mulligan is a key today for Syracuse.
Another great thing about this game in the Carrier Dome today, the Orangemen had a chance to rest a lot of the starters late in the game. The other game played this week, and a 16-7 win over Penn, so the Orangemen come in fresh as a daisy for the Tigers.
And you know what? The Tigers were kind of pushed by Cornell 9-6, had to play the starters the whole game, so if there's a little bit of advantage there, let's give it to Syracuse.
We're fired up. Should be a terrific matchup. Syracuse and Princeton meeting again, this time in the Carrier Dome instead of in the NCAA tournament. Tonight's game is brought to you by Brine Lacrosse. Welcome back inside the Carrier Dome on the campus of Syracuse University for today's matchup between 2 of the top lacrosse programs of the 1990s. The Princeton Tigers and the Syracuse Orangemen. Princeton starting attack. Trevenin, Prager, and Strebel at the midfield. Sims, Pellegrino, and Smith, the close defenders. Harrington, Lunkenheimer, and Farrell. And between the pipes, Dale, the MVP of last year's Final Four, Corey Popham.
Corey Popham's got good numbers. He played all day yesterday against Cornell, and they do use 2 goalies. You may see the coach's son get in, but right now it's Corey Popham, and he is formidable.
The starting lineup for the Syracuse Orangemen. On attack, Kataya, Powell, and D'Arcangelo. The midfield, Soliday, Coyote, and Kaufman, the close defenders. Rule, Abrams, and St. George. And between the pipes, we've talked about him a moment ago, Robbie Mulligan having a tremendous season for the Orange.
Improves every week. Coach is really pleased with the way he's played. Good left-handed goalie, does a good outlet pass. A real key for Syracuse today, Robbie Mulligan.
Princeton head coach Bill Tierney has led his team to the last 3 national titles and 5 of the last 7. Syracuse's head coach, of course, John Desko, 6-2 in his first campaign at SU. The opening draw won by the Princeton Tigers, and we are underway here in the first quarter. 10th meeting all time. Syracuse leads the series 5-4. The last time these 2 teams met in the NCAA tournament semifinals last year, Princeton won 11-10.
They got the face-off. Baylor, number 19, got the face-off. They got 2 shots off in 16 seconds. Let's check the officials. Munzie, Ellis, Luxinger, and Mars will be doing the game today. And already they've been able to get down and look at a couple of shots, as I said, in the first 16 seconds.
Veteran crew. The Tigers with their first offensive possession of the game, just underway here in the first quarter in the Carrier Dome. Princeton in the black, trimmed in orange and white. The orange and the home whites trimmed in orange and blue. Princeton right to left here in the first quarter of action. Dan Clark has it on the near side, out high for Mark Pellegrino. The Tigers working around very patiently in the offensive end.
They are a very patient team. They're a smart team, and they're not going to make any mistakes if they can avoid them.
Centering pass intended for Josh Shims goes astray. Rolling toward midfield. Syracuse ball. The Orange will get it for the first time.
Nice little play by Matt Kataya. He was on number 45, Farrell, and he checked his stick and let the ball go out of bounds. Knew it was off Princeton, so Kataya, smart play, gets the ball for Syracuse just about the midfield line, and they're going to trigger it in with Kione.
Big crowd on hand here in the Carrier Dome. This date, Syracuse and Princeton, circled on the college lacrosse calendar many, many months ago. Wonderful atmosphere for lacrosse here in the Carrier Dome for tonight's matchup. The Orange working around. Trying to break free out high, Kione. Feeds Soliday. Pass loose in the slot, and Popham will play it.
Good example there of what they do defensively. 3 guys collapsed on the ball. They play a very disciplined defense. They stop Syracuse's first shot, and they come back with the offense right now, Ted.
One of the problems for Princeton this season has been a lack of scoring. They had one of the best 3-man attacks of all time graduate from last season's team, and they've had trouble replacing that scoring. Tigers have it on the near side. Spinning shot wide of the goal. Nearly a tally for Chris Berrier as he was pushed outside, and a loose ball will go Syracuse's way.
That was good hustle. They got over there closest to the ball when it went out of bounds. That was Seglia, the defensive midi with the big stick, and Syracuse clears it easily.
The Orange bring it into the offensive end. Princeton drops that defense back.
You know, I'm just looking at their stats. Opponents only getting off about 30 shots a game. Princeton gets off about 39, so they're getting 9 more shots. And this defense is just a tenacious defense. And what it does is it doesn't give you any shooting lanes. It's not always a zone. They'll run up and play man-to-man, but they always collapse and slide quickly as soon as the ball is passed, and it really doesn't give you a good shooting lane.
Darkangelo shoots. Popham comes up with the save. Ball is loose in the crease, and Popham regains control. That was a great play.
It was, absolutely. And they're going to use Popham here in the clear attempt. It goes from goalie to wing defender up to the center.
Hard check thrown by Soliday. Ball popped loose from John Harrington of Princeton. Very physical action so far here in the first quarter of play. Again, Syracuse forces the turnover. Here come the Orangemen. Unsettled situation. Lead, feed, shot, score! Orange on the board. Matt Kataya completes the break, and it's 1-0 Orangemen.
That's a great way to beat that defense at Princeton, which is to knock the ball down at the midfield. Soliday started it by knocking somebody down. Ryan Powell eventually comes up with a ground ball, makes a look-away pass, and Kataya is just one-on-one with Popham. And that's the way to beat that defense. Don't let them settle in, get the fast break, cause something to happen at the midfield, and that's exactly what happened. Deneker comes up with his face-off. He's going to take it back and go to the goalie, and Syracuse resets.
Kataya, fresh off his hat trick in the win over Pennsylvania. Now with 28 goals on the season, 24 assists, having a monster year. Chris Cordisco brings it ahead, flags down at midfield.
Syracuse has got a free shot now. They got to keep the ball. They can't drop it. They got to keep it in the box.
Ryan Powell has it. Left-hand cradle behind the goal. He's harassed by a Princeton defender. John Harrington sticking it to him.
They're going to double team him.
Ryan trying to work his way out, shoved, and pushed away from the goal.
This is a great opportunity. They know whenever the ball changes hands or hits the ground, they're going to get a 30-second penalty. So take your time. You got nothing to lose.
Pass goes out high. Princeton there to defend once again.
One of the reasons they got an extra guy down there, because the guy who went off sides is now down there playing defense, obviously. If you're going to get the crime. Now the ball's going to go to Syracuse. But if you're going to commit the crime, you might as well go down and take advantage of it, which means double team the ball. But I believe it's number 30 was offsides. Strebel.
Syracuse will have the ball. 30-second penalty against Princeton. First infraction of the game. Less than 5 minutes in, it has been exciting so far. Syracuse with a 1-0 lead on the goal from Matt Kataya, his 28th of the season.
Syracuse did about 35% on man up at this point in the season, which is pretty much near the end of the season.
The Orange 20 of 57 on the campaign. Kataya with it. Shot from out high, and the Orangemen have a 2-0 lead. Scoring for Syracuse, Matt Coyote.
He did a little crank shot. The right-handed crank shot. Kataya sends it over to him. He gets to take a step and a half. They tried to slide, but Mullet couldn't get there in time. He takes a low one-hopper. Very nice shot by Coyote, who you and I, Ted, talked about. I think he's shooting much, much better this year, and already they've got a timeout called by Princeton as it goes to 2-zip with 10:31 left first quarter.
Princeton head coach Bill Tierney doesn't waste any time. Good crowd on hand supporting the Orangemen. Princeton began the campaign at 0-3, but the Tigers have rattled off 6 wins in a row, and it's really been the maturation of a very young team. The Orangemen on the board first earlier in this quarter. Syracuse scoring as Powell finds Kataya.
Kataya obviously able to put that one in, but the good aggressive defense on the clear attempt by Princeton at midfield was what caused that. Let's check out the standings. Loyola first, Johns Hopkins second, Duke third, Syracuse right there where you want to be, number 4. Virginia and Georgetown round out 5 and 6, but the first 4 teams get a bye. That's why I said that's where you want to be. I'd actually like to be number 1, but it's okay as long as you're 2, 3, or 4. You look at the rest of them: Delaware, Maryland, Penn State, Hofstra, and Princeton at 11.
The Tigers, the defending national champions, they've won the last 3 national titles. The Princeton Tigers 6-0 when playing consecutive day games. Both of these teams played yesterday. They played Ivy League opponents. Syracuse defeated Pennsylvania here in the Dome 16-7, and Princeton won at Cornell 9-6.
Syracuse obvious strategy is when they get that ball on the face-off and they're not sure where to go, they go all the way back to the goalie and they reset. See if Alexander can keep it in. That's going to be out of bounds. So it's going to be the ball for Princeton just over the midfield line as Alexander tried to keep it in. He could not, but they looked like they took that face-off all the way back, and that's the first turnover for Syracuse.
John Desko, head coach of the Orangemen, his team at 7-2 coming into this ball game today. The Orange have a 2-0 jump less than 5 minutes in here in the first quarter of play. Princeton ball right to left. Trevenin controls. Chased by Billy St. George. What a great season he's having, the freshman from Baldwin, New York. Lauren Smith gets it away.
Looked like he had a shot, but they ran him off.
Bad pass by the Tigers, rolling toward midfield. Whistle.
We're going to call a push.
Is indeed a push. Devin D'Arcangelo with arms extended. Doesn't think he's guilty of the violation, but Princeton will keep the ball.
Jeff Lowe in for Syracuse doing a nice job. The defensive mini with the short stick. There's D'Arcangelo. But right now you're going to see Lowe. There he is, a football player turned lacrosse player. One-on-one there. Jeff Lowe on Torty. So good look at him right here on defense. Short stick of Jeff Lowe.
Torty brings it back outside. Tigers working around the cage. Syracuse matching up man-to-man. Torty has it, shoots and scores. Princeton cuts the lead in half on the goal from Rob Torty. It's 2-1 Orangemen.
He got a little clearance between himself and Jeff Lowe, and he took a left-handed shot. Watch the clearance he's going to get right there. And Lowe tried to come up with a check, but he didn't get stick-on-stick with him, and that's going to give them their first goal, and Mulligan not able to get down that stick side. Low to his left, and he's a left-handed goalie. So it's 2-1 now, 9:17 left first quarter.
Torty has 3 inches and 17 pounds on Lowe, so he won that head-to-head matchup. The Tigers control the draw. Unsettled situation, and it's 2-2. That didn't take long at all. Strebel with the tally. Brand new game.
That's one of the things I had said. One of the things they were doing after they got the face-off, if a big stick got the face-off, what they were doing is going back. They lost the ball, and of course, Mulligan at the mercy of number 30 as he went down, Strebel, because they passed it back, lost the ball, and that's going to even it up 2-2.
9th goal of the season for Strebel. Good pass from the long stick, Ryan Mollett, to set that play up. Syracuse now with 4 of 5 face-offs won here in the first quarter. Bad pass thrown by Marshall Abrams. It'll be Princeton ball.
Syracuse is winning the initial draw, but the last 2 times they have thrown the ball away. So the face-off statistic becomes meaningless. At that point, you've won 2 face-offs, but after you got it, you threw it away. And it will be Princeton ball, and Syracuse is going to be forced to play a little bit of defense now, although they will get the ball. Princeton will get it in their own end of the field. They may pass back.
The Tigers will try to clear it out of their own end. Syracuse and Princeton have combined to win 10 of the last 11 national championships. So when Syracuse and Princeton go head-to-head, you're talking about a matchup between 2 of the powers of college lacrosse.
Nice ride here by Syracuse, trying to force the longest pass on the field by zoning off, and then
whistle.
Offsides.
Offsides call. Syracuse ball.
He was in the air, but he was offside. Number 8 over that line, and that's going to give Syracuse the ball. Let's take a look at it. They're forcing the long pass, and he forced it a little bit to the middle, and you can see him in the air. Offside.
We'll watch Bill Tierney on the Princeton sideline. He is a very animated head coach.
He's a show.
Very fiery guy. Ball loose on the turf, reclaimed by Ryan Powell.
There's the jump, the quick jump. See how quickly they got on Ryan and put the stick in his face. That's the hallmark of this Princeton defense. Quick jumps and a lot of complicated slides. Don't give them a shooting lane.
Coyote quickly met by defender. High pass intended for Brian Soliday, and it's beyond the reach of the Orange men. Princeton gets it in their end of the field. 4
unforced turnovers there for Syracuse. That bad pass is 2 on a face-off, and coach talking a little bit to Coyote as he comes off the field.
Turnovers even 4 side. Princeton on the clear. Good pass to the center of the field. Rob Torrey controls it. He scored the first Princeton goal. He's hacked by Syracuse defender Joe Seglia.
They got a big stick on him now. That's Seglia. Seglia, oh, tapped it out.
Ball poke checked away by Seglia, and Syracuse has the ground ball. Billy St. George scoops it up. The Orange on the clear now.
And they're going right after Mulligan.
He's being harassed. Ball pops free, and Syracuse will lose it out of bounds. It'll be Princeton ball.
Prager, great job by number 12. They threw the ball back. Syracuse, as we said, going back, looking to the goalie, looking to the defenseman. Watch the takeaway, though. There it is right there by Seglia. He was getting beat. He used the handle of the stick to come down, make the check, put the ball in turf. Syracuse got the ball, threw it away after Mulligan was really hounded by Prager, and it goes back to Princeton.
Sims has it, starting the play for the Tigers. He and Prager play catch. Sims with 19 goals, 8 assists on the campaign. Angles in and sends it behind the goal as the Tigers will reset. 2-2 tie midway through the first quarter here in the Carrier Dome.
Uh-oh.
Ball loose in front.
Mulligan out again, and they come up with it again. Princeton, great job. Good ground ball. Unsettled situation.
Prager got the ground ball. Tigers have a chance to reset. Angling in for a shot. Deflected in front. That was Sims. Ball loose, and the Tigers regain it. Chance for Princeton. The pass is lost. Abrams has the ground ball. We've got a whistle.
Syracuse going to lose the ball again as they got a push. They have been pressed. They've been playing some good checks, good defense, but they got caught pushing there, and they're going to get the ball back. A good-looking pass, trying to hit, but the ball was down, and you can see right there when he turned his back that he really got pushed there. So Strebel is going to go behind, but his teammate will get the ball up on top there. Number 12, Prager.
The adrenaline pumping for both teams here in this first quarter. Sims scoots away from a defender, shoots and scores, and the Tigers have their first lead. It's 3-2 Princeton. And Robbie Mulligan wants to confer with the defenders that protect him.
Well, he had a little problem there because St. George, watch number 7. He lunges there, and now he can't get the stick. That's why it's so important to protect the stick when you go by. If you're hanging out, he's going to get a piece of it. But watch, he protects it, and he gets the goal that gives them the go-ahead at 3-2 with 6:20 left in the first quarter.
Sims now with 20 goals on the campaign, 8 assists as well for the junior from Edgewater, Maryland. Timeout on the field taken by Syracuse head coach John Desko.
That's a good timeout. You want to make sure, you know, you had a little bit of the momentum. You got the first 2 goals, but Princeton has come back, put a lot of pressure on. But Ted, many of the problems that they've had in this first 10 minutes or so, 9 minutes, unforced errors and inability to clear the ball, and that's what John Desko is going to say, look, we got to play our game, and that's exactly what he wants to remind them. On the other hand, Bill Tierney says, let's just keep the pressure on. We had a great game plan, and this ride that they are instituting has given Syracuse some problems.
Princeton 6-0 and playing consecutive day games. The Orangemen also had a game yesterday here in the Carrier Dome, a 16-7 win over Pennsylvania. The Princeton Tigers went to Ithaca and defeated Cornell 9-6. By consecutive day games, we mean 2 days in a row with games against top-notch competition. Both of these teams played yesterday.
We don't want to be writing in with a semantic problem there. All right.
Princeton with the ball in the offensive end, and they'll reset. They send it out high. Matt Baylor controls. 3-2 Tiger lead. Less than 6 minutes to go, first quarter. Jamie Sullivan with it. He plays catch on the near side with Matt Strebel. Jeff Lowe out to defend. Sullivan working his way in, pushed out by Lowe. Chris Berrier sends to the far side, and Prager. Strebel trying to break free. Centering pass, wide, whistle, stops play, crease violation against Princeton.
Baylor took a trip through the crease. Let's see this. This could be a good wide-angle shot, guys, because this is going to see what Princeton's doing on this clear. They're really, you see him go through the crease. Actually, we're going to... Okay, back to live action.
Syracuse with the ball in the offensive end. Kataya sends it behind the cage. Ryan Powell running the Orange offense from there. Powell coming into the game, 24 goals, 24 assists. SU works it around. Princeton, a very solid defensive unit. Powell trying to start the offense from in front now.
You see they slide, how quickly they slide and jump. And then they cover up and back and don't let anybody get in the shooting lane. Kataya looking for somebody to pass to, but it's way out. High shot.
Syracuse will keep it. The Orange back up the play. That came from Josh Kaufman.
That's about a 12 or 15-yard shot. You don't really want to take that if you don't have to. You want to really get in a little closer. You see him right here. Watch the slide. See how they shoot shooting lanes down, but they actually had a chance. It was just a little bit high.
Good look for Kaufman. Syracuse has it in the offensive end. Coyote working his way in. Pass to the slot. Good, terrific stop by Popham. And now Princeton on the clear. Popham, the MVP of last year's Final Four. On that play, we saw why.
Oh, yeah, he came up with a great save.
Princeton in transition. The Tigers up 3-2. Less than 4 minutes to go. First quarter here in the Carrier Dome.
Mulligan was gesturing wildly to have somebody pick up the guy coming from the bench, Lawrence Smith, 43, and Seglia went over and picked him up, but for a while there he was ranging free. Here's a good look at what Syracuse is seeing from the goalie's perspective. As the attack, they bring it behind and swing it over, and they're kind of really spread things out a little bit. And now they're going to go back, and now the crease gets a little more crowded. You can see how fast this game is. There's the double team. Shot, save.
Great play by Mulligan as he stones Lawrence Smith. Princeton set up that play beautifully. Smith had an excellent look at the goal. The Orangemen in transition. Abrams sends it back. Long windup and a score for Syracuse's Matt Alexander. We are tied up 3-3.
He's got Lawrence Smith on him. Watch 43, Alexander 1. You don't expect him to take the shot, and you don't expect him to take it from the 25-yard line. He gets a nice one-hopper, and he beats Popham stick side. Popham down, can't stop the bounce, 3-3.
Matt Alexander popped him good with that goal. 3-3, 3:08 left to go first quarter. Syracuse has won 4 of the 6 draws at midfield. Ball loose on the deck. Heavy hit thrown by Syracuse's Chris Searcy. Very physical action. The Tigers come up with the ball in the offensive end.
Just checking some stats here coming in. Alexander had 2 goals, Ted, so an unusual happening, but certainly good for Syracuse.
Flag down. Jeff Lowe pushing from behind on Kyle Boggart. We'll see if that's the call. Free play for the Tigers.
Yeah, just going to say, getting a free shot, take your time. You got to keep it in the box. You know if you lose the ball, the worst going to happen, you're going to get it back and you're going to be man up for 30 seconds. Pass.
That's Boggart behind the net, setting it up. Shot and a score on the bounce shot. Chris Berrier knocks it home. The Princeton Tigers capitalize on the free play.
And they'll also get a minute penalty because that was not a technical penalty, it was a personal foul. So not only does this goal count, but they will be man down for 1 minute. So it goes to 4-3, and Syracuse will go out to the face-off center, the face-off circle, but will be man down. There's a look at Berrier, his 6th goal of the season. A couple of long-range goals, one by Syracuse's Alexander and one by Berrier.
And the violation was indeed against Jeff Lowe, playing defense on Boggart of Princeton. 1 minute for slashing. Face-off battle fairly even so far.
Alexander out there for the face-off, and he got pushed.
Syracuse will take it. Hustling off the turf for the Princeton Tigers, Matt Baylor. It'll be Syracuse ball at midfield. Princeton 21 for 52 on the man-up situations this season, but it's Syracuse ball right now.
Yeah, Syracuse ball, they're man down, and they'll take all the time they can. They'll run around. They'll double him, of course. He's going to get a lot of sticks put on him here as they try to put Powell in the corner.
Ryan Hacht lost the ball. Whistle stops play. Princeton ball, and the SU fans don't like the lack of a call there as they feel Ryan Powell was tackled.
Well, they gave a ward, I believe. They called a ward on Powell, or a hold on Powell. The stick was up in the air, held on to the other man's stick. At any rate, they still have about 20 seconds left in the penalty. They're still man down.
Powell trying to battle a double team. Princeton man up. Feed to the slot and a score. Well executed by Princeton. B.J. Prager finishes, and the Tigers have opened up a 2-goal lead at 5-3.
Man up goal. That'll be even up now, but watch the look from behind. He got a lot of distance and a quick left-handed shot by number 12, B.J. Prager, a freshman, and 18 goals and 4 assists on the year. Syracuse down by 2, 1:29 left, first quarter.
Prager now with 18 goals as a freshman from Garden City, New York, as Princeton tries to replace all that scoring firepower lost from last season's team. Ryan Powell stopped by Popham. Another terrific play by the Princeton goalie. And now the Tigers on the clear. Princeton up 5-3 as we head toward a minute to go, first quarter. Syracuse takeaway. The Orange have a shot. It's wide. Ryan Powell just missed. It'll be Princeton ball as well. Devin D'Arcangelo was back there, but the Tigers will get it in their own end.
Well, watch if you get in the replay, Popham turned and dove. It's where you are when the ball goes over the line that it counts, and that ball was out. When Popham, see him reach out with his stick. Now the ball was already over. It's hard to tell from this view, but it was Popham who was closest to it when it went down.
Bang, bang play, and a good call by the officials down on the turf. Whistle stops play. Princeton ball after a Syracuse push. 48 seconds left to play in the quarter. The Tigers have a 5-3 advantage. Princeton will clear it out of its own end. Popham has it. He plays catch with John Harrington, one of his close defenders. And now Popham sends ahead.
They lost him.
Princeton with a chance. Shot deflected. Great play by Marshall Abrams. St. George has it in his long stick. Quickly into the offensive end. Alexander on the near side. Sends behind the goal. 15 seconds to play in the quarter. A late goal here would give the Orangemen so much momentum heading into the second quarter. Ryan Powell has it behind the screen, trying to break free in front. He lost his footing, and Popham comes up with the ball. And that will do it for the first quarter of action. The Princeton Tigers and their keeper, Corey Popham, have the jump on the Orangemen. 5-3 is our score, and what a great first quarter of action. Much more to show you from the Carrier Dome this evening. The Princeton Tigers with a 5-3 lead as we head to the second quarter of play. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome. We are set to begin the second quarter with the Princeton Tigers on top, 5-3. One of their goals scored by number 12, B.J. Prager.
Prager just getting himself loose in front of the crease, and let's see how much separation he had when you're chasing like that, and he's able to get that close to the goalie. Let's take a look at the stats here. Let's if you break down, let's just look at turnovers. Pretty even, 9-8 Syracuse. However, if you look at points off of turnovers, Princeton has gotten more points off the Syracuse turnovers. They had problems clearing, dropped the ball twice, and Princeton came up with points. Somebody moved there. I think that's Princeton movement, Syracuse ball. But they say points off of turnovers would go to Princeton, and that's been the difference right now.
Princeton outshot Syracuse in the first quarter, 10-8, and outscored the Orangemen 5-3. Syracuse ball after the violation. The Orange right to left here in the second quarter of play. Princeton again using that stingy defense in front to bottle up Syracuse's leading scorers. Ryan Powell has it behind the net, looking for someplace to dump the ball.
The goalie came out and slashed him.
Popham got it. Free play for the Orangemen with flags down. Burns has it. Met out high by Chris Berrier.
There's another one. That's two. They got the goalie and the defenseman. They're going to try for the short stick guy, maybe. Nope.
Powell misfires. He was unable to break free, and that's why his shot went so wide of the cage. Actually, with the shot attempt for Syracuse, Chris Cordisco, number 23 of the Orangemen.
So they got Popham on a hold. Watch the hold here. Watch the goalie come out right there. That's where the hold occurred. They had a flag down there. And then right after that, Lunkenheimer did a little hacking and hewing, and he's down for a minute for a slash. So they are down 2 men for 30 seconds.
Trevor Tierney, one of 2 sons of head coach Bill Tierney, on the Princeton roster, between the pipes as a result of the penalty against Corey Popham. Tierney's numbers so far this season: 44 saves, a 6.54 goals against average, and a save percentage of .657.
Well, we thought we might see him, but not in this situation. I didn't think Popham would be called for a penalty, but that's what happened, and Syracuse has got a good opportunity here.
The Orange on the doorstep have cut a toe on. Scoring for the Cuse, Josh Kaufman. It's 5-4 Princeton.
Didn't take that long with that 2-man down situation, and Syracuse comes back to within 1. Nice look. We get a good look at it here. Pass, sneak, and you just can't slide fast enough when you're down a man to cover. So Kaufman able to find that little crease in that zone, and when he gets there, he gets the ball and takes a quick shot by Tierney, who is now replaced back again, of course, by Corey Popham, who is sitting for 30.
Kaufman now with 11 goals, 7 assists. The freshman from Carthage, same program that spawned the Powell brothers and sent them on to glory at Syracuse. Kaufman having a terrific freshman season, very highly touted recruit out of Carthage, New York. Princeton ball in the offensive end. Tigers left to right here in the second quarter. 5-4 Princeton lead. Just underway here in the second quarter. Plenty of lacrosse left to go tonight.
You know, one of the interesting things, Lawrence Smith came out at the substitution area, and what they try to do is they're going to get another guy from Syracuse to sub when he does. Well, it's a race to see who can get out first, because then somebody else is coming in. Lawrence Smith got out, but he's going to have a push or a hold here. Let's see what the call is.
Once again, Lowe working on Torty of Princeton as the 2 number 1s match up head-to-head. Torty has it, even with the cage on the far side. Flag is down on the play, so a free play for Princeton. Lawrence Smith with it.
That's just kind of an isolation there. Oh, that's going to be another hold.
Flag down on the Orangemen again. Matt Alexander this time. Here's a look at Jeff Lowe working one of the officials down on the field.
Oh, that was not. That was a slash. So the first one was a slash. So now they've got the same thing that Princeton had. A man down for a slash and a man down for a hold. Lowe got called for the slash.
That's the first slash. Yep, it's Jeff Lowe.
Yep, and now here's you're going to see the hold by Alexander. So it's going to be 2 men down for 30 seconds.
30-second hold against Alexander. 1 minute slash against Jeff Lowe. Princeton 1 for 1. Man-up situations in this game. Syracuse down 2 men. Sims has it out high. Near side Smith shoots high over the cage. Princeton will keep it.
About 14 seconds left in that first penalty. If they can work that one off, there'll only be a man down. But right now, Princeton's going to take their time. Let's see what they do. Oh, sneak.
Sims has it. And the pass made in front by Sims to B.J. Prager. Excellent pinpoint passing for the Princeton Tigers, and they take a 6-4 lead.
Good point. They just passed it out, and then back to Prager. Right, see the guy was trying to defend him there was St. George. Look how quickly, they didn't have a heck of a lot of space, and he put the ball right in there, and then he just had to turn and fire.
Goal by B.J. Prager, his second of the night. And the Tigers have reclaimed the 2-goal advantage, 6-4. Ball loose after the draw. Whistle stops play as the scrum continued for possession. Offsides call. Looks like it'll go against Syracuse.
Well, he signaled both ways. Of course, the fans are ready to go out and get a rope, but it was went in, out of the box and in, and then they're going to give the ball back to Princeton.
So the Tigers have it in the offensive end with a 2-goal lead. Ryan O'Shaughnessy controls. O'Shaughnessy sends behind the cage for Matt Strebel. Chasing him, Syracuse's big Josh Rule, outstanding defender. Strebel trying to bust loose. Rule still shutting him down, and he dumps off finally. Tigers shoot wide, and Princeton will keep it. On the attempt for the Tigers, Chris Harrington.
They create a little space with the free arm there. Watch this free arm. You just see, look there, just kind of bring that free arm. Now you can use the free arm, but you can't push the stick with it. Otherwise, it's a ward. But they'll use it and put it up there. Right now, ball is down, but picked up again by Princeton.
Abrams chasing Prager. He lost the ball. Tigers will try to keep it in the offensive end. Rolls beyond the sideline. Syracuse will take it. And the head coach, Bill Tierney, not too pleased with the execution of his club in the offensive end a moment ago.
Turnover for Princeton. Look at Tierney.
Well, he gets fired up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
This is a big game for the Princeton Tigers, no question.
He's not going to be the cover boy on the officials' rule book.
Princeton, there are some who follow the Tigers lacrosse program that feel Princeton may have a tough time getting into the tournament this year as the defending champions.
Well, they're ranked 11th, so they're certainly going to have to play an early game, but they certainly look pretty good here tonight.
They really do. Crucial weekend for them. They won down in Ithaca, defeating Ivy League rival Cornell 9-6 and trying to pull off the sweep here in Central New York this weekend. Robbie Mulligan makes a big play, feeds Billy St. George on the near side. Pass ahead of the field beyond the reach of Tim Burns. The Orange throw it away, and Princeton will get it back. Another unforced error made by the Orangemen.
They made one just previously. They got offside. It went over and back, and they just seem to be shooting themselves in the foot, as the expression goes. They really haven't been able to put a lot of pressure. Watch Mulligan here as they try to go low. He makes a nice save and then clamps that ball down so he doesn't lose the rebound. Syracuse now attempting to put a little pressure on this Princeton clear. A rainbow pass up for number 4, Sims.
A lot of time left to go in the first half. Sims met out high by Syracuse's Dan Stesson. Tigers working around. Up 6-4. Strebel with possession. And he feeds behind the goal now for Chris Harrington. Tigers send it high. Lawrence Smith comes into the play. Left-handed cradle for Smith, one of the top offensive threats for Princeton. Good passing by the Tigers in front. Harrington has it poke checked away by Billy St. George. Syracuse ball. St. George hustling upfield, the Orange into the offensive end. He has Stetson and Abrams with him. Drops it off for Abrams. Marshall shoots and scores! The Orange cut it to one. The long stick. Marshall Abrams with the tally.
You know, I was just going to say there's a situation you don't usually want, which is two big sticks handling the ball. Well, they must have taken my thought and read it, because as soon as he gets the ball, Abrams goes right-handed. He says, I got some space. I'm going to crank this. And he does from a left-handed 6-foot stick. He puts it right over Popham's head. You see the reaction time. So Abrams' first goal of the year couldn't come at a better time for the defender.
And that cuts the Princeton lead to 1. It's 6-5, 9:58 to play first half. The Orange 7 of 12 on the draws today.
We find out Abrams also has an assist, so he has done an excellent job on the offensive end. But here's a mistake again. Syracuse on the line before the possession was upset. Yeah, he's, you know, you think if you're the hometown team, there's a hometown advantage. It certainly hasn't happened today. I'm not saying that it wasn't there. Just Syracuse has not been playing like the hometown team in terms of mistakes.
Smith behind a screen, scores! Big play for the Princeton Tigers. They get the goal right back. Josh Sims fed Lawrence Smith, and again Princeton's up by a deuce. It's 7-5.
Little congestion on the crease. Takes just a sweep, a big left-hand shot.
The give and go. Sims fed Smith.
And he just did a sweep to his left, took the left-handed shot, and Lawrence Smith brings it back to a 2-goal lead. Lots of scoring here in this one. 7-5. Lots of time left in this first half.
15th goal for Smith. Big attack man. 6'3", 195-pound senior from Baltimore. Again, the Tigers have it in the offensive end, looking to extend their 2-goal lead.
They got Mollett down there with a big stick. He's trying to, now they're going to make some changes on the run on the substitutions. They get Mollett out.
Jamie Sullivan has it for the Princeton Tigers. Princeton switching up at midfield. Matt Trevenin with it. Chased down by Billy St. George. Trevenin goes behind the goal. Comes out. Double teamed. Rule in there as well.
And so is Mulligan.
Prager's open out high. And they find him. Abrams comes out to meet him. Princeton does a great job of working for the best possible look at the goal. Ball lost, and it comes to Robbie Mulligan. Princeton's Dan Clark lost it from his cross. Syracuse on the clear. Abrams with it. Feeds ahead. Joe Seglia brings it into the offensive end. Seglia chased down from behind. Ball pops free. Princeton gets the ground ball, but a whistle.
Let's see what they got. They're trying to call a timeout.
Syracuse is granted the timeout as we take a look at Joe Seglia, who came up with that big play and brought it into the offensive end for the Orangemen. So the timeout taken by Syracuse head coach John Desko. We'll have more lacrosse action from the Carrier Dome after this timeout. 8:25 to go in the quarter. 7-5 Tigers. Back inside the Carrier Dome, 8:25 left to go in the second quarter. The Princeton Tigers with a 2-goal edge on the Orangemen, 7-5. Syracuse ball with the timeout called a moment ago by head coach John Desko. We'll see what the Orange come up with after that discussion. Coyote has it. D'Arcangelo sends back for Coyote, trying to angle in. Good defense applied by the Princeton Tigers. Kaufman with it. He's met out high by Winship Ross, Princeton's number 29. Kaufman loses him. He sends back outside for Coyote, well away from the cage.
Oh, that was forced.
Centering pass intended for D'Arcangelo. Princeton takes it away.
Too many people in there. You know, that's like a rush hour traffic jam in there, and they tried to force the pass into D'Arcangelo. And you've got to take advantage of the scoring opportunities, and throwing one away like that against this Princeton defense is not good.
The Tigers bring it all the way in. Prager has it. Met out high by Abrams. Tigers switching up at midfield. Sims back in, Smith back in. Prager lost it. Abrams trying to come up with the steal. Ground ball taken by Smith. Sims with it. He'll dump it back outside for Torty.
Torty looked like he was ready to crank.
Working behind a Smith screen, but decided to reset the play instead. Strebel behind the goal. Rule all over him. Centering pass, Wild. Rolling toward midfield. Syracuse ball. Excellent ground ball taken by D'Arcangelo. Here comes Devin. The pass. Extra pass. And what a stop on Ryan Powell. Papa made the play of the game. Whistle stops play. Orangemen down. Ryan Powell slow in getting up. What a huge play by Popham. Let's watch it again.
Behind the back pass, and then the crease clearing, and then Popham, just great reaction time as that ball shot across the crease. Normally, you don't know where the ball, you got to slide with it, and he just came out and jammed Powell, and then they pushed Powell without the ball, so Syracuse would get the ball back, but a great job by Popham.
Keep in mind, Popham, the MVP of the Final Four last year, is one of the best goaltenders in the country. Princeton has it. The Orange throw it away. Another unforced error by the Cuse.
That's right. They're up to 14 now, and that's a tough situation. As I said earlier, Princeton has, off these unforced errors in Syracuse's own end, they had 2 in their defensive end, which turned into goals. That's the kind of thing that you don't want to have happen. So Princeton really making use of the Syracuse turnovers. Princeton's only got 11, so it's not that far out of whack, but they have been more productive when Syracuse has turned the ball over to them.
Tigers on the clear. Popham sends to the far side. Kurt Lunkenheimer, and he sends him to the offensive end. Strebel will reset from behind the goal after taking the pass from Jamie Sullivan. Strebel with it. Princeton up 7-5. 5:45 left to play in the first half. Strebel chased by big Josh Rule. 6'5", 230. Strebel, centering pass. Ball loose on turf, and it's reclaimed by the Tigers. Trevenant hustling after it. Poked free by St. George. Trevenant trying to scoop. Whistle stops play as Trevenant went down. Billy St. George doesn't agree with that call.
Well, it doesn't do any good to talk. All it does is get you flagged. So you might as well just turn around and go back and play defense. One of the things that happened, there's a push right there from the back, and you could have called that one or that one. So, and while we're gone, they've scored a goal.
We'll show you the goal on the replay. You'll see an excellent feed from Matt Strebel to Matt Trevenant. Here it comes.
There's a look, he's jump shot right there as he gets by, he splits 2 Syracuse defenders in the air, and number 10, Matt Trevenant, gives him a 3-goal lead.
Princeton has come to the Carrier Dome intending to show the Orangemen what Princeton lacrosse is all about. An 8-5 lead for the Tigers. 5:20 to go in the first half.
They're going to lose this one. Syracuse is going to lose that right there. Another error as Syracuse's Deneker twitches on the face-off, loses it. Oh!
Whoa! Touch pass. Prager with the goal from the feed from Sims. You got to be kidding me. It's 9-5 Princeton.
That didn't take very long, and it was all on account of losing the face-off without even having a chance to get it because of the twitching by Deneker. There's a nice-looking pass and a quick stick by Prager, and that's his 3rd. 1 assist. BJ Prager having a season here, the freshman out of Garden City.
What a game for him so far. Important draw won by the Orangemen. Syracuse needs a goal back quickly. 9-5 Princeton Tigers. 5 minutes to play first half here in the Carrier Dome.
With the kind of defense Princeton plays, you don't want to get down by 4. Well, you don't want to get down by any goals, but 4 goals in the first half puts a lot of pressure on your offense.
Very important 5 minutes of this ball game. The final time left in the first half. Coyote pushed away. Kaufman has it.
Look at those slides.
Pataya, high over the goal. Syracuse keeps it in the offensive end.
You saw some great slides there. Mollett, number 6. They are moving, and they've got in their mind, they know exactly what. Watch 6. He slides, he falls down, but look at them all slide over and try to get those sticks to the inside and keep the shot off of their goalie.
Princeton has outshot the Cuse 17-12. Coyote with it. Syracuse working around.
One of the things this defense does is it forces you to take the lower percentage shots, Ted, the ones from, 15, 20 yards out, and that's not what you want to depend on. There's the jump, the slide.
Excellent defense by the Tigers. Very well-drilled team.
Pipe.
Popham trying to chase it down. The Orangemen beat him to the spot. Kaufman there. Syracuse keeps it in the offensive end. The goalie's best friend. We'll see it again.
Soliday going to be closest to it, but you see the shot right there off that pipe. And there's Soliday. Princeton playing very, very tough defense here in this first half.
Final 4 minutes of the first half, 9-5. Princeton leads. Syracuse with possession. Feed to the slot. Shot and a score! The Orangemen get one back. Devin Darkangelo from Ryan Powell. It's a 9-6 game.
They hit the cutter coming right down the gut, and Darkangelo was able to control the pass. Nice assisting pass. See him break off right there. I mean, that's hard to do. That's amazing they were able to feed that pass in there. And it was a dandy pass, and the control by Darkangelo very impressive because he had 2 guys, Ted. They took a couple of shots at him with the sticks, and he still was able to control it.
We've said this before, on a pass like that, as we see the face-offs all even to this point, it's one thing to make a great pass. The guy who catches the pass has to finish the play.
That's right.
Princeton with it after the draw. 9-8, the face-offs in the Tigers' favor at this point. Sims with it. 3:35 left to go in the first half, a 9-6 Princeton lead. Smith with it out high. Abrams all over him. The 2 number 43s go head-to-head. Ball loose on the deck. Torty has it. Prager sends behind the goal for Strebel. Looking for a cutter in front. Strebel sends near side for Prager. Already with a hat trick, B.J. Prager. Torty. Pushed out by Matt Alexander. Good play. Torty comes out high. Tries to spin. Syracuse all over. Seglia able to force it outside. Prager with it. 2:45 to go in the first half. Strebel, Rule chasing him down. Centering pass is wild. Ball loose. And the Tigers will have to track it down deep in their own end. Syracuse hustling after it. And the Orangemen will get it.
Good play. What they did, instead of trying to get the ball and push it to midfield line, they checked the stick of the Princeton player, let the ball go all the way through, and then screened him off. So they couldn't make a play on a ball went out of bounds off a Princeton stick, and Syracuse gets the ball back.
If Syracuse can score on this possession, this could be a big turning point, Dale. They played so well defensively at the other end. Now they get the ball back on offense after really earning their stripes defensively. Powell lost it. Uncharacteristic for Ryan. Popham comes up with the loose ball.
Well, I kind of forced that. You can't do it yourself, and they know that Popham, if you come around tight like that, he's going to reach out and club you with that stick, and that's what happened, and they forced that ball on the ground, and Princeton up with it.
The Tigers back in the offensive end. Syracuse hustling back defensively as we approach 2 minutes to go in the first half of action here in the Dome. A 9-6 Princeton lead.
Here's the race to the sub area as they try to get in, and Seglia is trying to catch up. Ball down.
Rule brought Strebel down. No call. The Orange get a break. St. George ahead for Abrams. He couldn't control the pass. Here's Princeton. Unsettled situation. The Orange trying to hustle back defensively. Shot wide. Princeton keeps it in the offensive end. Missing the net for the Tigers, Matt Baylor. But Princeton has it with a minute 37 to go in the half.
Tierney's still working the officials here. Watch this ball. It was actually a pretty good shot. He knew that if he waited any longer, he would have had a posse there. So he took the shot and knew he had some backup. Princeton gets the ball back. And 1:20 and counting here in this first half.
Coyote trying to push the Princeton Tiger with the ball away from the cage. Ryan O'Shaughnessy. He takes it out high.
timeout.
And a timeout taken by Princeton head coach Bill Tierney. With all of his experience and his knowledge, he knows this is a key point in the game, and he burns the timeout here.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got him. You might as well use him, and it's a thing, if he can get another goal, then that would really be impressive. And they've got the ball in the Syracuse end, about a minute left to go in the game. He's going to set something up, so it'll be interesting to see what Tierney comes up with.
We'll come back with the end of the first half after this timeout. The final 1:11 of the first half. The Princeton Tigers with a 9-6 lead over the Syracuse Orangemen. Princeton ball, Dale, after the timeout taken by Tigers head coach Bill Tierney.
Interesting statistic there, 24-19, 5 more ground balls, and that's the kind of thing they have been hustling. And I would say right now, Syracuse's biggest problem has been those errors. Let's see if they can hold off this Princeton offensive onslaught here with 55 seconds left.
Tigers work the ball around the cage counterclockwise. Prager with it. Lauren Smith trying to set him a screen. Prager has it on the near side. Jeff Lowe providing the defense.
This is kind of an ISO here. Well, at this point, he's taking him way out there, and Lowe's had a little problem covering Torty, and there's 4 guys up on the crease. Watch this as he comes down. Now moves, comes back. So it's still got Lowe on Prager.
Prager trying to beat Lowe one-on-one, trying to scoot underneath Jeff. Lowe pushes him back out. Sims shoots high over the goal. Princeton keeps it with 8 seconds to play in the second quarter.
We're looking for Sims, make a cut, looking for the jump. When the guy who was on Sims jumped and they dumped it off to Sims, ball was not on the target, but Syracuse going to have to play a little bit more defense here for another 8 seconds.
Strebel will trigger for the Princeton Tigers. 3-time defending national champs.
Oh, nice check.
Ball knocked away by Rule. Flag down, we'll get a slash. Centering pass, Prager couldn't control it. Ball hits the turf. Time expires here at the end of the second quarter. The officials will confer. Looked like Rule guilty of the slash.
Won't be much of a conference. They're just going to say Rule slashed. He'll be down. There will be a face-off, however, because there was no possession, I believe, when that was called.
Some boos here in the Carrier Dome. Not for the Orangemen, perhaps for the officiating. A 9-6 Princeton lead at the break. Much more from the Dome after this on Super Sports. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome. We are at halftime. The visiting Princeton Tigers with a 9-6 lead on the Syracuse Orangemen. Ted DeLuca, Dale Dreipolcher with you this evening here on Super Sports. And Dale, surprising in the first half, the Orangemen made a lot of unforced errors that really helped the Princeton Tigers quite a bit. A couple in their own defensive end put a lot of pressure on Mulligan, and they got a couple of goals off that. But, you know, they did it the other day against Pennsylvania and straightened it out by the third quarter. Let's hope they can do it today. As we get set to bring you the third quarter, let's take a look now at some first half highlights and get you up to speed on tonight's game. They're brought to you by Roadrunner High Speed Online. One of the stars for Princeton has been B.J. Prager. Watch him, how quickly he gets rid of this ball. He's going to get an assist here from Sims, number 4. Watch, bang, and that ball was rocketing over the head of Mulligan. Nice play by Prager. He got 3 goals in the game so far. And one of the guys who has done it all for Princeton has been Popham. Watch this series. D'Arcangelo comes down, gets the face-off. Little behind-the-back pass here. You can see right here. Nice looking pass. And they're going to pop it across. Right there, it goes to Kataya. And they're going to get it over to Powell, but stoned right there by Popham. He came out, timed it perfectly. Ball went down, and I'm telling you, Syracuse, you can see him kind of a little frustrated there after that one. Popham did a great job. Roadrunner High Speed Online is the fastest way to the internet. Call 1-877-892-6977 for info. That's 1-877-TWCNYRR. Dale, the first half numbers. Shots 18 for Princeton, 14 for Syracuse. Saves 5 and 4. Man up goals, Syracuse 2 of 2, 1 of 1.
for Princeton, so both teams doing well there. Clears 6 of 8. Syracuse, a little problem on the clears. We talked about those errors that cost them some goals. Ground balls up for Princeton, as you might expect. Turnovers, Syracuse 17-13 for Princeton, and the penalties, well, Syracuse 4 for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. As a matter of fact, when we come back, they will be a man down, Ted.
And when we come back, Dale, we'll talk with the former head coach of the Syracuse Lacrosse Orangemen, Roy Simmons Jr. At the half, Princeton with a 9-6 lead on the Orangemen. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome as we get set for the third quarter of action. The Princeton Tigers have a 9-6 lead on the Syracuse Orangemen. We are now joined by the former head coach of the Syracuse Lacrosse Orangemen, Roy Simmons Jr. Always a thrill to talk lacrosse with you, Coach. What are your thoughts on the first half? What do the Orangemen need to do to try to pull this one out in the second half?
Well, they've got to get a couple breaks. They've had some bad breaks on ground balls, and they've given up some easy goals with transition, getting guys on and off the field. They've gotten caught shorthanded. They're going to have to step up some intensity. This is the best ranked, 11th ranked team that I've ever seen come to the Dome. I can't believe that the national rankings put them at 11th in the nation. They're playing very well. Unfortunately, they're probably playing their best game of the season against us. We're going to have to come out with some intensity and own the ball. We've got to catch them by fourth period because they have a lot of patience. They're smart. And come fourth period, if they have a lead like they have right now, they'll slow down the tempo a little bit, try and not let Syracuse make a run at them. So this period is very important. If we can go in the fourth period even, we can take it to them the fourth period. If we're going to the fourth period with a big deficit, it could be a long afternoon.
The Orangemen do have to play well in the third quarter. Certainly John Desko, your right-hand man for so many years, has done a fine job with these Orangemen.
Super job. This is the best coaching staff in the country. These three kids play together. They played for me. They're local boys. Their heart's in it. They love it.
Last night at Manley Fieldhouse for you, your retirement dinner. I know you don't really like to be the center of attention, but a great night for you, I'm sure, and a lot of love in Manley last night.
There was. It was very emotional. A lot of my old boys came back. They had 40 years worth of team representation there, and it was kind of a reunion. A lot of these guys that played for me while they were in school came back for the first time. They saw old teammates, so not only was it a very nice tribute to me, but it was also a kind of a reunion for the old teams.
Coach, we'd love it if you could stick with us for a few minutes here in the third quarter and talk about this game. Princeton really coming out to play after winning down in Ithaca over Cornell yesterday. They look very sharp here in the Dome this afternoon.
They look a lot sharper than I had anticipated with their 3 losses. They're back at full strength. Lunkenheimer, one of the premier defensemen in the nation, has been down and out for about a month with a bad knee sprain. And Torty, a very, very fine midfielder, is back after an ankle sprain. He's been out for about a month. So Princeton's at full strength personnel-wise. They don't have anybody sitting on the bench that is an impact player. All the impact players are back, and they're out there now.
Third quarter action underway here in the Carrier Dome. Syracuse with its first possession of the second half. And certainly, Coach, as you know, it's best to be at your best late in the regular season, heading toward postseason play. And the Orangemen look to be in very good shape in terms of making a long postseason run.
Yeah, you want to peak at the right time. You don't want to burn out. You don't want to lose that intensity and that focus. And you want to grow during the season and play your best ball coming down the home stretch. So when it gets down around Memorial Day, you're at the top of your game.
Nice job, actually. While we were talking with you, Coach, they ran off the penalty to Josh Rule. They had started a man down, so they started off well in the third quarter. They did not give up anything on that man down situation. Now they have the ball in Princeton's end, and Syracuse trying to get something going offensively with Kataya behind.
Well, we have to be patient here, and we got to look for the double. Here comes the double, and we got to find the open man, and that's the key when that double comes. Somebody's got to be left open. He's got to let himself be known where he is. Here's a freshman in here. Talk about pressure. Here's a freshman, just turned 18 years old, Liam Banks. A dream come true. Carrier Dome freshman carrying the ball against the defending national champions. What do you think he's thinking?
It doesn't get any better than that, but it also doesn't get more nerve-wracking. And he gets an assist.
He did just what I said a moment ago. When that double came, you've got to look behind the double and see where it came from and who's open. And what composure for an 18-year-old to be in the game of his life, for sure, in the Carrier Dome in front of this crowd against the defending national champion, get doubled, have the composure to look up and find out where the double came from, found the man right in front of the crease.
You know, nobody called it better than you, Coach. Soliday was open just as you said it. You willed it to happen. The double happened, and he found Soliday coming down the gut. He hit him, and Soliday converted nicely. 9-7, Syracuse back within 2, and they get the face-off initially. Yeah, a little problem clearing this ball this way. Early, they lost a couple, gave up a couple of goals off it, but Rule seems to have it.
Well, you got that fairly new rule, you know, where you've got to clear that ball out of the first quarter of the field within 10 seconds. So you really can't rotate the ball too much in the defensive quarter of the field. You've got to be thinking upfield. If you get the ball in that second quarter of the field, you can take all the time in the world. And then, of course, when you get across midfield, you've got to get the ball into play. And you've got another 10 seconds. So there we go.
Ryan Powell makes it a 1-goal game, and Ryan's fired up. It's 9-8 Princeton.
He's fired up. He had a pretty soft first half. He's coming alive now. He's a competitor, and believe me, when he looked up at that scoreboard, saw that deficit, he knew that he had to step up and be counted.
He
left that Princeton defenseman behind. He went over the back of the goal, and the slide didn't come in enough time. And this is Ryan's game. Right-handed on the corner, and he'll beat you every time.
As I said, he owed Popham one. Popham stoned him down there in the first half.
Yes, he did.
He got a chance to make it back, and he brings them within 1.
Here's an important phase of the game right here. We need the ball. We can't let them have the ball, and we're not getting any breaks on those ground balls, that's for sure.
That should be Syracuse ball. Good call.
Great hustle on Mulligan's part. He held his ground thinking he was going to have to make a save. When he saw the ball go awry and it wasn't a very good shot, he headed for the end line, and as a result, the goalie, while he played good in the goal, got out of the goal in plenty of time, and now we own the ball. It's a 1-goal game.
Let me ask you a question, Coach. Just change the subject. Coach Cherney, probably the antithesis of you on the sideline. He's really a rabid guy, isn't he?
Well, you know, he's got on the outside what I have on the inside.
Okay.
He lets it all hang out. Maybe I should do that also. He can be intimidating if you're faint-hearted as an official.
Yes.
You would rather be on the opposite side of the field. I've seen officials go to the other side of the field and exchange with it. You know, you have an official on both sides of the field. And people don't want the bench side when Billy's at his best, you know.
Yeah.
We actually have had some rules built around Bill Tierney. They're not called Bill Tierney rules, but they're built because of him. You're not allowed to step on the field anymore. And he used to chase you right out on the field if he could.
Yeah, he used to get quite a bit of distance there, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I've seen him out well past those big football numbers out there.
Yep.
Ryan Powell trying to create for the Orangemen in the offensive end. Of course, we are joined by the former head coach of the Orangemen, Roy Simmons Jr. 6 national championships under your watch, and boy, a lot of fun years here at Syracuse University. Great place to play as well, Coach. The Dome. This crowd really fired up today.
This is entertainment at its best, as far as I'm concerned. There's the bad seat in the house. It's a predictable game because it's a fast game. There's no crown to this field. There's nothing to slow you down. You're not fighting any elements. It's all pure athleticism.
Now this is in slow motion. Look how fast he took that shot.
Yep.
That one really flew. That's the guy you were talking about earlier, Liam Banks, who got an assist. That was a shot and a half.
He's gonna be somebody to be reckoned with. You know, he's gonna be a premier player. Not that he isn't now, but you know, he's not a starter yet. But you're gonna hear from him. He's got 4 great years of good lacrosse here at Syracuse.
Right now they're going to slow it down. Powell behind, setting up the play. This Princeton defense does a great job at jumping and sliding.
Yeah,
they don't really give you much shooting lanes. Here's a jump.
You can't hang your head when the slide comes. You got to keep your composure, back off, and make them stretch them a little further, be unselfish, and look for that second slide.
Powell with the pass. Oh! Over the goal, and the play completed by Liam Banks. It's tied up at 9.
Can you imagine what he's thinking?
What a second half he's had.
He had an assist about 2 minutes ago. Now he gets a goal. Real pretty. Watch him come behind. He goes one way. Powell goes the other way, and the defense doesn't shift quickly enough, and Liam Banks quick sticks it by Popham for the tying goal. Watch this quick stick. Nice job.
That's just like a slam dunk. You know, he was in the air when he got the ball, and he released it on a quick stick. He put it off Corey Popham's weak side. And we're out of the face-off circle again with ball control and an even ball game. And this is what I was saying. You've got to go into that 4th period even or ahead, or Princeton will make you run, and chase the ball. And we don't want to do that. We want to play our style of ball, transition up and down. We want to put them into a deficit, make them come to us. We don't want to have to go to them.
There's a lot of time left to go, 9.5 minutes left in the third quarter, and we're tied 9-9. But really, Coach, at this point, it seems like Syracuse has complete control of this game.
Well, we run out of the last three. That's very disheartening to have a cushion, to have a lead, have a man-up situation in the second half and come out quickly, very quickly, give up the lead, not score on that man-up, and lose 2 or 3 face-offs in a row. And first thing you know, you fight for your life again. It's a new ball game, a brand new ball game.
Soliday lost his footing, and Princeton comes up with the loose ball.
To their credit, they do not get easily rattled either. They just go right back.
Well, that's why they're 3 times defending national champions. That was a great shot.
Big play for the Princeton Tigers. Matt Baylor with the goal, and Princeton back up by 1 at 10-9. So Princeton did what it had to do, Coach, get that goal right back.
Yeah, that's, they can't take our momentum away from us right now. We've got to keep our intensity up as we had coming out of that locker room. And things like this tend to blunt it a bit. But, we were down 3 goals, just several minutes ago. Now we're down 1 goal, and we'll get it back.
Another goal off a turnover. Ball was taken away, turned it back, and fast break by Princeton. Denneker up with the face-off.
We've done very well in that face-off circle. We just have to capitalize on it and say silly mistakes like that.
You're right.
A man heading for the box, and that's where we had trouble in the first period. We were substituting, putting our back to the ball, and they hurt us. We've got to time our moves on our substitutions to the point where you're not putting the team at deficit while you're getting off the field.
Well, you're right. There were some foot races there coming in and out of that sub area in the first half. We remarked on that. And
it means a lot.
Yes, it does. And right now, Syracuse is going to have to play defense again as they had the face-off. Denneker got the face-off. But as I've said, just because you get the face-off, you got to do something with it.
Right.
They lost it, and now it's Princeton ball again.
Got to be very patient. You got to cut out some of these mistakes, throwing the ball away as we have, and you're putting the ball on the ground and giving them an opportunity to pick up the ground ball. Here's this fellow Torty. He's a premier player, and you haven't seen him on the Princeton lineup here for almost a month with a very severe ankle sprain. But boy, he got healthy.
Big shot off the crossbar.
That was
Lauren Smith.
Heck of a shot. He is one of the best in the country, and he can let it go, and he knows where it's going. He hit the goalie's best friend, the iron, and makes Robbie look pretty good.
Nice pass from Sims, and then he sent that one about 30 yards up into the rarefied air here at the Dome, headed for the roof. Mulligan 5 saves, but you have to be charitable. They got a couple of easy goals off him, turnovers right in their own area, right in front of him. So Mulligan did not have much of a chance early in that in the first quarter.
No, that's right too. They ran down the middle and totally uncontested. This is a great combination of players out there now.
Flag down the play as Sims lost his footing. The official feels he was pushed. The call will probably go against Marshall Abrams.
They're going to call him a trip. If it was a push, it'd be better off. That's going to be a minute.
This is a full minute.
Yeah, there it is right there. He got him with the stick, and that's going to be a 1-minute penalty. So Syracuse will be man down.
Actually, the call against 47, Jay Abendroth of the Orangemen, a minute tripping violation. So the Tigers with a man up for the next 60 seconds.
Well, this is a situation you don't want to get into. The Tigers, they'll take their time. They'll probably use the minute. They'll take a minute off the clock, and you're playing shorthanded against a premier team. You're fighting for your life here. You're back in the ball game, and you don't want to give them an easy one.
You look right there. Hitting 67% here, 2 of 3 Princeton on man-up opportunities, looking for 75% here. They can put this one in.
They got the best shooters on the field in the man-up specialty team, and they play heads up. They didn't play heads up on that one by backing up the shot, however.
And Alexander got it. Syracuse is going to be able to work some time off this penalty.
Yeah, we're going to be patient here. We got to watch for the double, though. They got 1 extra man out there, and they're smart enough to know that. And they're gonna, right there it goes.
Yep.
And that's it. Burns is doing the right thing by staying away from the double. We're not going to get a break. Well, we did.
Yeah, we did.
He finally called it. He didn't throw a flag.
Princeton ball.
No, failure to advance is what he called. Yep.
Tigers take it. And Syracuse gets it right back.
Got it back.
Billy St. George with the long stick. Makes the feed ahead to the near side. Kataya tries to track it down. Keeps it in. Loose again.
It's a great save, boy. A great save.
Banks with the behind the back pass taken away.
A great save for Princeton because they're coming up with control of the ball. Sometimes you're better off, settling it down and not making those heroic efforts to keep the ball in bounds because you give Princeton another chance. That worked well. You got to separate the man from the ball. Liam Banks again.
Break for the Orangemen.
You should throw before the goalie gets set.
Ryan Powell drops it off. Kataya was down without his stick.
No.
We're going to be man up. But, you know, the goalie had his back to the ball. He was running to get back in the cage. That was the time to let it go because he didn't know where the ball was. He just knew he'd left the cage.
I agree.
He didn't. He got his position, and then rather than can it, you tried to be unselfish and give it a layup, and the guy just wasn't expecting it.
And incidentally, during that time, that was Sims who's going to go for a cross-check. He'll be down for a minute.
1 minute penalty against Josh Sims of Princeton. Cross-checking the call.
I would much rather have had the goal and the penalty.
Right.
Man up.
Well, you know, and he tried to flip to Kataya, whose stick was on the ground, couldn't have done anything with it anyway. Couldn't it? Yeah, so, but it's important, I think, for Syracuse to get this goal. Nice position.
There it is.
And there it is. Ryan Powell atones for his earlier mistake. We're tied up again, 10-10.
You put Ryan on that corner, ball in his right hand where he's most comfortable, and it's almost a gimme.
Especially now since they were man down and they made a nice look and Kataya made a nice pass.
There's where he wants to be. He's home right there.
Up and down and did it low, and Kataya, nice left-handed pass all the way across the cage.
He's got plenty of time to make Poppin make a commitment, and he puts it where his stick is.
Good point. He took him up and then took him downstairs and ties it up at 10.
Big day for Ryan Powell. 2 goals, 4 assists, so he's factored in 6 of Syracuse's 10 goals. Princeton hustling up the field after winning the faceoff.
There's a nice face-off by Matt Baylor. He's a sophomore, and he's going to be Princeton's new rising star here. Episcopal High School out of Philadelphia. He's a great player.
That's him, number 19.
Right there.
Very impressive individual effort. You called it again, Coach.
He was in the crease. We're going to take that away from him.
Wiped off the board.
Yep.
All you got to do is touch that yellow line, and he did.
Yep.
We're going to get a look at it right here. Right there. That's it. No, I'm sorry. Right there. Yeah. Before he was before the ball.
You can't, even after a shot, you can't wind up in the crease. The new rule this year.
New rule. Yep.
Yeah, that's a discretionary call, but it was called the right way. That's for sure. I don't see Bill Tierney arguing that goal, so I guess it's okay.
It must be, because if he didn't like it, you would have heard it.
Syracuse has it out high in a 10-10 game. Less than 5 minutes to go in the third quarter of action. We're joined by Roy Simmons Jr., the outstanding former head coach of these Orangemen.
Well, we got to stretch them out, so if they're going to make that double or that slide, they got to have to make a real commitment, come a long
real
ways.
Long one, right? Yeah. Make them come about 100 yards.
They're smart. You know, that's the way they're there.
Yeah.
They know if you stretch them out, they probably wouldn't behoove them to take that 10, 15-yard slide because they'd never get back.
Is that the best way, Coach, to battle this type of defense? Is to really spread the field
offensively?
Spread it
out and move the ball. You got to move off the ball, too, to keep your man involved in play. So you can't afford to take his eyes off you. You'd like to get in a man-ball situation where you can see your man, and the ball. But if you could separate those, bad decision in the middle like that. There's a good decision right here.
Chance for the Orangemen. D'Arcangelo lost it. Still loose on the deck. 2 teams jockeying for
covering the ball. Oh, no.
Call goes against the Orangemen again.
We haven't had many breaks today.
That's true.
I would have, if I were an official, and I'm not, thank God. I would have called that.
Covering the ball, holding the ball
covering
from
the
play.
ball. Yeah. I thought it was under the Princeton body, so nobody could have had it, but they didn't call it that way.
Tigers on the clear.
What we need is a good hard ride in here, and they turn the ball back.
They have been pretty successful. They're not here. They cleared, but they have done a nice job of riding. But now they got to pick up and make sure they've got everybody where they're supposed to be. Segley is in with the big stick, 24. And Jeff Lowe has been playing a lot of with the short stick.
Got the right people out here now. There's a great pickup. Just a great pickup. That's athleticism at its best, boy. That's Jeff Lowe, football player, Liverpool boy. What a pickup that was.
Let's see what the Orangemen do with it.
Very unselfish. They got off the field. That slows the transition down. I'm not always so much in favor of having specialty teams like Siglia and Lowe, the great lacrosse players, but they're gophers for the offense, and now we've taken the air out of the transition here by getting Lowe off and getting Siglia off. We got the right kind of offensive team out there now, but now Princeton's back, and that defense, and everybody settled down.
Well, Lowe did his job, and that's...
Yes, he did.
Yep.
It's a nice shot.
Ryan Powell comes up with the deflection after Jeff Cordisco
That's another
fired.
one.
Oh, nice save.
Big save by Poppin.
Another one.
And he comes up with the loose ball.
Great saves by Corey Poppin here today. He's a great goalie, and he's a senior. He's been in the fast lane. He's been in 3 national championship teams. You know, he doesn't get rattled too easily. You know, he'd turn you away 2-3 times like that. Builds his confidence, and you as a shooter, you're starting to, you know, to think that you've got to get a better shot on him. And your hesitation is a great ploy for Princeton defensively. If you hesitate, they're going to come get you.
Score stays tied, 10-10. Just about 2 minutes left to go in this third quarter, and Princeton has the ball. Here's a substitution jump out of the area, but Syracuse, Jeff Lowe comes in.
This is this kid Torty. He holds the ball well, and we're not going to get any breaks. They're going to call us for holding on that. And I think Torty was a little bit of an actor there, but that's all part of it, you know. If you get a kid's stick wrapped around you, you might as well go down and make him look bad.
Right.
Here we go. He's got him. Well, probably he was going to go down anyway, but.
Well, it looked like he got the stick and it slid down to his hand. The ball was out, and
that's good offensive play. You know, make the defenseman make the mistake. Once he felt that stick down around his elbow and caught him there, he just says, "Hey, you're going to go sit down, and we're man up." And they got some guns out there now. You know, this is a tough position to be in.
Sims with it on the near side. Tigers 2 of 4 man-up situations. Baylor with it.
Slide's very important here when you're a man down. Keep those sticks up in the passing lane.
We all have a man and a half. You know, it's no man on man. Everybody's got a man and a piece of the other guy.
Princeton will keep it in the offensive end. 90 seconds to go in the quarter, a 10-10 tie. Sims makes the pass in front and firing over the cage, B.J. Prager.
He's had quite a game. 3 goals and an assist.
Well, it's tough to miss from where he was.
You're right.
Know, we were lucky he took a shot over the top of the cage because he had 36 square feet of cage to hit. He was point blank in front.
The 2 teams at even strength now. Torty trying to angle in Jeff Lowe.
That's good defense there. Billy St. George, another freshman. I'll have to say this for Coach Pesca. He's got a lot of courage. It's a tight ball game. He's playing Billy St. George, a freshman on defense. He's playing Liam Banks, a freshman on attack. There aren't many coaches in the country in a game of this.
Want to do that?
No, they want you to. It's almost like red shirt in football. You know, you want to let him grow into the situation, but he has a lot of confidence in these few freshmen he's got in there starting.
Princeton with the ball in the offensive end. Teams at even strength.
Clock's on the field. Under a minute, 48 seconds. 25-23 in the shot department. 2 up for Princeton there. Let's see what Syracuse can do here in this end of the third quarter. Ball down, Rule up with it, gives it to Mulligan, and out the outlet pass.
Here come the Orangemen in transition.
This would be a nice one to get one here, go to the 4th period, up 1.
Marshall Abrams
can do it. He's got a hell of a shot.
And the big save made by Popham. He controls in the crease. Abrams scored his first goal of the season earlier in this game. Now Princeton in transition. On the near side, Strebel angling in. He's pushed out. Big hit by Jeff Lowe, who knocks the ball free. 5 seconds to play in the quarter. Tigers have to hurry. Shot. Mulligan is beaten. He had it. And it got by him as time expires here in the third quarter. What an exchange there.
That's a shame. You know, we had an opportunity to go into the 4th period up 1. Instead, we're down 1. We did what we had to do in the man-down situation. We denied them a man-up goal, as we did at the start of the 3rd period. Transition, got down, had a defenseman take a shot. Maybe we should have taken a little more time, a little more patience, but Marshall has a great shot. And then we gave up with just a second or two a goal that the goalie literally had and got away from him.
Well, you're right. You know, it's 6-1, half dozen the other. I might have slowed down and run the time off and take the last shot, but you know, that's I was second guessing. Had it gone in, I'd have been saying what a great shot it was.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Yeah, that would have been wonderful.
Coach Simmons, thanks for coming by. We'll let you enjoy the 4th quarter. Appreciate your insight. Slugger with us in the booth. 11-10 as we go to the 4th here in the Carrier Dome. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome as we begin the fourth quarter of action. Princeton with a 1-goal lead on the Orangemen, 11-10. A flag thrown, and I believe we have an illegal stick against the Princeton Tigers. Head coach for Princeton, Bill Tierney, vehemently arguing this decision.
Actually, he's kind of smiling there. It's, you know, they check a stick at the end of each quarter, and they just walk out and just take a stick from somebody. And what happens is,
1 minute, deep pocket, non-release.
let's see what the. So it was a 1 minute. It was a deep pocket. It was not an illegal stick in terms of the 3-minute variety. However, it was of the 1 minute variety. 26-24 in shots, saves 7-5, man-up goals. SU 3 of 3, 2 of 5 for Princeton. Check the ground balls have evened up, and turnovers 22-20. Syracuse, however, didn't commit the last one. The last one was actually committed by Princeton in the guise of an illegal stick. The pocket too deep gives you a minute, non-releasable. Had it been an illegal stick with dimensions, it would have been a 3-minute penalty, non-releasable. But as it is, Syracuse has a minute to score.
And as we saw when that stick was being held up, it did appear to have a rather deep pocket. Deeper than what you normally see or what you normally should see. So the violation is against the Princeton Tigers, and Syracuse has a man up for a minute as the fourth quarter gets underway. An 11-10 Princeton lead. Very hard-fought contest in the Carrier Dome today. D'Arcangelo awaiting the pass from Ryan Powell, who goes down in the crease, and it will be Princeton ball.
He was hoping he would get a push call. He didn't, and that's going to be Princeton ball, and a kind of a wasted opportunity. There's over 30 seconds left. Watch. There's the step. Well, you know, he might have had a case there. Although they turned around and looked, it was 27. Lunkenheimer, who said, I didn't push him, and the referee agreed.
When you operate so close to the crease, you're living dangerously to begin with. So if a double team comes, you could get yourself into trouble. So it's Princeton ball after the call against the Orangemen. A long stick with a chance. He shoots. Big save from Robbie Mulligan. John Harrington took the shot. Princeton keeps it in the offensive end. Mulligan the loose ball. Here comes Syracuse. Abrams takes it into the offensive end. Marshall Abrams has it in his long stick. He makes the pass. Syracuse works it around. Shot wide. But the Orangemen keep it. Powell backing up the play. Kataya down on the deck as he received a hard hit. The senior from Homer. 10 Syracuse seniors playing their final regular season game in the Carrier Dome today. Ansley Jemison, Matt Kataya, Josh Rules, Spencer Wright, Chris Cordisco, Jason Denneker, Devin Ackerman, Matt Alexander, Drew Searle, and Harvey Saccharin.
Get it lower.
Interesting having Coach Simmons get a nice perspective there. He's a great guy, a good guy to work with, and he certainly knows a lot about lacrosse.
He knows the game.
Likes the kids. You can tell just by talking to him. That was the most, I think, the most important part of him coaching lacrosse was working with the kids. Oh, pass. Tried to go over that big defense, and that stick knocked it down. And Syracuse not able to cash in on that offensive opportunity. And you don't want to give them, as Coach Simmons said, go into this fourth quarter and be down by a goal. They'll stretch you out and take time off the clock.
The Orangemen haven't played their A game after whipping Pennsylvania in the Dome yesterday, 16-7, but they're only down by a goal. So if the Orangemen play their best lacrosse for the remaining 13 minutes, they may be able to pull this one out.
Well, they got a little problem here. They had somebody uncovered. Josh Rule was looking for some help. Ball's going to be back down to Princeton. This is tough for Syracuse.
Tigers take it. Prager already with a hat trick. Will reset the play, sending Smith in motion, and we've got a whistle. Procedural call against the Princeton Tigers. Syracuse ball. Tierney is flipping out on the Princeton sideline. He coaches every game like it is a national championship game. Maybe that's why he's won so many times.
That's right. He certainly got the credentials.
3 NCAA titles in a row, 5 of the last 7. As a matter of fact, Syracuse and Princeton have combined to win 10 of the last 11 national championships. And Princeton knocked Syracuse out of last season's tournament with a 1-goal win in the semifinals.
John Desko not real pleased with the way that clear went. They were on the edge of disaster. They finally got the ball, but it was a 45-yard pass to clear the ball, and that's not what you want to have happen.
Matt Kataya controls for the Orangemen. Syracuse right to left here in the fourth quarter of action. An 11-10 Princeton lead. Coyote,
Look at that jump.
makes the feed. The Orange working around. D'Arcangelo comes up with the loose ball.
Well, you know, just what Coach Simmons was talking about. When you see the double, when you see the slide coming, you have to keep your head up and find the open man and get rid of the ball quickly.
Coyote shoots. It's broken up in front. Princeton trying to come up with the ground ball. A scramble in front of the cage, and the Tigers do get it away.
Yeah, that was an illegal pick there by Princeton. It's
Whistle against the Tigers.
Pick. It's interference, and that's exactly what they did. They had a man pooning. But you know what Syracuse did there is they put the ball back down on the ground, and one of the things you want to do against this defense is not put it on the ground and keep the passing quick, moving, and then when you get double teamed, find the open guy and get rid of the ball.
Syracuse will trigger from behind the cage. Ryan Powell will put it in play. 11:27 left to go in the fourth quarter. 11-10, Princeton on top.
By the way, that last stop hit a Princeton defenseman. We say they always they pack back in, have their sticks on the inside. It's virtually impossible. You really have to work very hard to get a shot.
Kaufman finds Coyote out high. Pass to the near side.
Same thing.
And you're right, Dale. You can't get a good look at the goal because Princeton floods the area right in front of the crease.
Barrier 28 stopped the last one with his chest, and the ball was back on the ground. But you really are, they'll sacrifice the body. They must have a lot of bruises when the game is over, this Princeton defense. But they slide and fill very, very well.
Coyote back out for Kaufman. He had a hat trick in the win over Penn. Ryan Powell scores, and we're tied up at 11. Flag down as Powell went down.
That's the first dumb thing I've seen him do, and Winship Ross did something really stupid there because they'd already scored the goal, and he did an illegal check. Watch, the goal goes in right here. Okay, it's in, and he just keeps going. He just keeps pushing him right there, and that was not smart. Now, Syracuse has to see whether they can capitalize on this. They threw their other opportunity away, so it's unnecessary roughness, so they will be down for a minute.
Powell has factored in 7 of the 11 Syracuse goals today, and a violation called against Princeton's Winship Ross, an illegal body check, so he's out for a minute. Syracuse will have a man up for 60 seconds after the goal by Ryan Powell, and Dale, you'd expect a more heady decision from a Princeton defender.
I guess that would be true. That's what Coach Simmons was saying. It certainly wasn't. The goal was over. There's nothing you can do about it. And you certainly can't let that affect your play. And now it gives Syracuse another opportunity. But Syracuse squandered the last one with the illegal stick. And let's see what happens. Illegal pocket, I should say. Syracuse 3 for 4 in the man-up situation, which is great. This is an important one. There's the season look, 20 out of 57. Which is not bad at all, but they're all meaningless until you convert this one.
The Orange work it around. Ryan Powell has it on the near side, now backtracks behind the goal as Princeton sets up the defense in front of their outstanding goalie, Corey Popham. He's had a terrific game. Coyote with it on the near side. He's directing his teammate, Devin D'Arcangelo, as they play catch.
They're not going to have much time left.
Coyote with it out high, pass to the doorstep. Powell! 12-11 Orangemen. 4-4 for Ryan Powell today.
I was just going to say they should have been ready for him because that's when they're even. That's where he likes to go on that corner, and they didn't have him covered. And watch him sneak. See him come up with a stick. And now, granted, they were man down, but I think I would have been expecting Powell to sneak from behind, and what he did was take some. That time he took him down low, then went up high. He's done it 3 different occasions. So Powell, 4 goals today. Super job. Gives Syracuse a lead with 10 minutes left to go in the game.
Timeout down on the field, taken by the Princeton Tigers and their head coach, Bill Tierney. 12-11 Orangemen. Big crowd on hand in the Carrier Dome for this one. A great matchup for Syracuse when the Princeton Tigers come to town. After this battle, the Orangemen will finish the regular season on the road at UMass April 30th, at Hobart just down the Thruway May 4th. 4 days later, a trip down to Georgetown to play the Hoyas, and then it's the first round of the 1999 NCAA tournament on May 14th.
And right now, Syracuse sitting there at 4th, looking pretty good, but they got to win this game. Let's check this one out. It was man up, a sneak by Powell from behind. And as I said, they lost him a little bit there because that's where you would have been looking. Lunkenheimer, 27, the nearest guy to him, but they couldn't slide and pick up Powell as he ran a sneak from behind the cage, got a perfect pass, and he went down low this time, or excuse me, high after faking low. There's fiery Bill Tierney, Cortland State graduate. That school has turned out more good college lacrosse coaches, Ted, than like Miami of Ohio in football and some of those old MAC schools they talk about. Well, Cortland State turns out a lot of coaches.
That's a great point. 10:01 to go in the fourth quarter. 12-11. The Orangemen lead the Princeton Tigers. And you thought the ball game to this point was spirited. Strap yourselves in for the final 10 minutes of this one. The draw's even to this point. And this one will be controlled. It looked like Syracuse would get it, but we have a whistle stopping play, a violation against the Orangemen. Princeton ball.
It was a hold, obviously no possession. They'd be serving some time, but the idea is this is the kind of thing that, you know, those are the mistakes you make and it gives you a goal right there. Just that quickly, they got a hold and they lost possession, and number 43 makes it up for them. Lauren Smith puts it in for Princeton.
Let's watch it again.
See, he's coming down and he just, there he is, he's behind. No, that's number 30, he's behind. That's Strebel, but great assisting play. He just did a nice job, Strebel, from behind. There's Lauren Smith, the guy who got the goal.
So the hold against the Orangemen results in a quick goal for Princeton, and we're even 12-12. Tigers 12-11 on the faceoffs. The Orangemen trying to tie it up, and they do.
This is a tough situation. This is where they've run into problems before with using Mulligan in the clear. I would let Mulligan handle it for about 3 seconds. And now they got to get it up. They got 10 seconds to get out of that first quarter of the field, and then they get into no man's land, and they're okay.
Marshall Abrams has it on the near side. The Orangemen working the clear. Abrams sent it over Mulligan to the far side. Josh Rule. Kaufman has it at midfield.
That was close. You can hear a collective sigh of relief from the fans as that they cleared that ball.
6,194 in the Dome for this one. Great showing of support for the Orangemen and the Princeton Tigers, two of the top college lacrosse programs in the country in the 1990s. Kaufman dumps it back outside for Coyote. Pass to the near wing. Now back outside for Kaufman. Liam Banks is in the game for the Orangemen. He's made an impact here in the second half.
Yes, he's done some good things, and he's done some things. His coach Simmons said, you know, he's only a freshman, but he's going to be a great player. He's a great player now. Right now they've got Kaufman, and they've got Powell behind. He takes it up to Coyote with the long shot, passes it up.
Kataya! The Orangemen set up Matt Kataya for a perfect look, and he bangs it home. It's 13-12 Orangemen.
Coyote did a great job there of holding the ball, making him hesitate just a little bit before he unloaded that assisting pass to number 8. Watch Coyote. Fake? No, sir. I'm going over here. That was just a great job. I'm not taking anything away from Matt Kataya, but Coyote did a great job of setting that up by faking the shot and then waiting until the last minute. When he saw the slide go, he dumped it to Kataya, and there's a guy who knows what to do with the ball.
Syracuse very unpredictable offensively, that trip up the field, and it results in the goal that gives the Orangemen the lead back. 13-12. The draw is even till this one, and Syracuse controls it now at the edge. 13-12 in face-offs as well. Loose ball nearly went Princeton's way. Now we have a battle. Whistle stops play.
That's a push on Syracuse, I think. Yeah.
It will be Princeton ball, you're right.
One of the things that, you know, they got the face-off again, but they're going back when they get the face-off. Once Denneker gets the face-off, well, that's the push. And you can see that that's Harrington on the ground, so he definitely got the push. But Syracuse going backwards with that doesn't seem to be as effective. But of course, maybe that's all they can. That's the strategy, and it has worked a couple times.
Torty sends it behind the goal for Matt Strebel. Out high for B.J. Prager. He has a hat trick today. Coming onto the field, Matt Trevenin joins the play. Trevenin with it in his cross, right-hand cradle. Matt Alexander watching him for the Orangemen. 7:38 to play in the fourth quarter. 13-12 Orange lead. Very tight ball game throughout. Trevenin trying to work his way free in front.
Alexander all over him. Good defense played by Matt Alexander.
Yeah, they're taking Alexander way out, and then he's coming back.
Trevenin. Again, Alexander stays on him. Trying to spin now and use the roll dodge to get free. He can't do it.
He's using his free arm a little bit there. Oh, that ball's up off a Syracuse stick. It was a shot. Mulligan get back in the cage.
Rule almost had it. Princeton comes up with the ground ball.
Oh, Rule puts it back down on the ground.
Josh wants it back. Scramble for possession in the corner. Princeton with it. And did the Tiger go beyond the end line?
Yes, he did.
Yes, Syracuse ball.
Good hustle as they got Clark to put his foot on the end line. Josh Rule did a great job on that. Turnovers 24 for Princeton, 24 for Syracuse. And the game obviously can't get much more even than that, 13-12. That was a good defensive play by Syracuse to put the pressure and get that ball back.
In the terms of college lacrosse, this really has been a war in the Carrier Dome today. A 13-12 Orange lead. Syracuse looking for a cushion. 6.5 minutes to play, fourth quarter.
You know, obviously the best way to attack this defense is run and gun, and that's going to be back low. Missed that one.
Another big stop by Corey Popper. Princeton on the clear. Very aggressive ride employed by the Orangemen.
A nice look there. They didn't panic. Nice job by Princeton clearing the ball. Now Syracuse is going to have to jump in here and get everybody covered.
Strebel has it on the near side. Josh Rule watches him. Princeton switching up at midfield. Smith joins the play, and he takes the pass. Ground balls in this game. 38-37 total. And you can see the battle, a seesaw battle, especially in the second and third quarters. Sims has it. Working on Seglia. Shoots and scores! We're tied up. 13 aside. Great individual effort by Josh Sims to get the game-tying goal.
Seglia a little upset with himself. He got his stick. He let Seglia get by. Watch him go over the top right there. And he had the stick, but Sims did a great job of controlling it. You got to give Sims a lot of credit. Watch the stick. Watch. Bang! And he still holds on to it, goes from left to right, and puts it down between the legs of Mulligan. And once again, we're tied at 13.
Sims has had a big game, 2 goals, 2 assists. Dale, you talked about him as the Princeton key player before the game, and he hasn't disappointed.
Absolutely not. They've got Baylor out there for the faceoffs for Princeton. He comes up with it.
Coach Simmons told us, watch out for him, especially on those draws, and he has played well today. Princeton works it around. Tigers looking for the lead. Shot wide. Princeton backs it up. Smith is there, and the Tigers will keep it. Chris Berrier with the shot on net. 5:24 to play in the fourth quarter. 13-13 game. Strebel met by Rule. He sends high. Smith trying to break free. Pushed out by Abrams. Back for Strebel. Trevenin. Matt Alexander chasing him. He dumps off near side for Torty. Strebel with it. Centering pass. Prager trying to spin for the shot. Billy St. George pushed him out. That was a heck of a defensive play.
You're absolutely right, Ted, because he had about another inch and he would have unloaded a shot on that. But
Smith
St. George,
with it.
he twirled. What a great job by number 12.
B.J. Prager, the freshman from Garden City, New York. He is a stud. Great play.
He's got a lot of goals, I'll tell you that.
And a great pass from Smith here.
Oh, absolutely. You're right. It was a sidearm pass, and he just does a spin move and a left-handed shot. Now faceoffs become more important as the tempo of the game gets controlled now. As Coach Simmons said, Princeton only up by 1, but they'll take a lot of time off the clock. You got to get the faceoff. It's evened up right now. You can see 13-13. Syracuse may get this one.
The Orangemen need the game-tying goal.
Kataya came up with that one.
Kataya will slow things down. That was a crucial ground ball.
Yeah, good point.
After the faceoff, and the Orangemen have it in the offensive end, looking to even the score. 4.5 minutes to play in regulation. Near side, Coyote as the Orange switch up the midfield. Soliday will come on. Josh Kaufman with control now. Soliday moves into the play. Ryan Powell calling the signals from behind the Princeton cage. Liam Banks with it. Out high, Coyote, the Orange working around.
Yep, they are, and Syracuse is going to be patient. They got a lot of time, but you only get so many opportunities, and this is the same thing they set up before.
Kataya finishes! 14-14 tie. You called it, Dale. Same play, same result.
Once again, Coyote sold the play, faking the shot, and then dumping it off. Watch Coyote's going to get the ball on top. Nope. He did the same thing he did last time in the rotation. You see him rotating, but not quickly enough, and Kataya point blanks it in to tie it up at 14. That's a great play.
What a laser beam. Corey Popham, one of the top goalkeepers in all of college lacrosse, didn't have a prayer. Kataya with the hat trick, 30 goals for the season. Big draw taken by the Orangemen. It's won by Syracuse's Jason Denneker. Back from Mulligan. Less than 4 minutes to go in regulation, tied at 14.
This scares me. If you're a Syracuse fan, you got to be scared, especially when Mulligan's handling the ball. Nothing against him, but you don't want the goalie with the ball because that can happen right there.
Scary situation. Marshall Abrams comes up with the ground ball.
Oh, he's got to get rid of it.
Ball loose.
Timeout.
And a timeout is taken by Syracuse head coach John Desko.
That was a great timeout, I'll tell you that.
With the break in the action down on the turf, we will cut away as well. 3:22 to play in regulation, all even, 14-14, the Syracuse Orangemen and the Princeton Tigers. Back inside the Carrier Dome for the final 3:22 of regulation. A moment ago, Dale, as you pointed out, Syracuse ran this play a second time, and again they score.
Same play, same result. They got the ball to Coyote on top. He fakes the shot. He holds the defense for just a split second, then he dumps it off to Matt Kataya, who, from the same spot, puts the next one in and makes it 14 apiece. John Desko called a very propitious timeout there because it looked like they were going to lose the ball. You look at the scoring there as you go through this. 5-3, 4-3, 2-4, 3-4, 14-14.
Second day in a row, the Orangemen have outscored their opponents in the second half. Yesterday, in the win over Pennsylvania, Syracuse outscored Penn 5-0 in the third, and Penn actually outscored Syracuse 5-4 in the fourth. But in the second half, the Orangemen really outscored Penn by a wide margin, 9-5. A similar result in the Dome today would result in an Orange victory.
I will say this, I don't think anybody's going to ask for their money back, Ted.
No. As Mark Ballard told us in our ear earlier in this fourth quarter, it reminds a lot of the fans here, I think, of the game Syracuse and Virginia played in the Dome a couple of years back. Much higher scoring, but it was a nip-and-tuck battle throughout. Kaufman has it, and he'll send outside for Coyote. The Cuse works it around the perimeter. Less than 3 minutes to go in regulation. All even, 14 aside. Kaufman with it again, behind the Coyote screen, and now Matt will pop free for the pass. Instead, Kaufman angles in. Kataya hanging around that left wing. They reverse it. Kaufman shoots high. The Orange back it up. Syracuse keeps it in the offensive end.
Good strategy there. They did something a little different that time. They took the long shot from Kaufman, high shot, but they managed to back it up.
Ryan Powell with the ball, met by John Harrington of Princeton. Ryan sends it up top for Coyote. Kaufman. Soliday back for Kaufman. Coyote with it.
Now they're making a move to Kataya now. They know what that play was from before. So Kataya goes back into the middle on the crease.
William Banks comes to the near wing. Coyote.
John Desko, you can see him down there signaling for Coyote to take the ball on the other side. And they're taking some time off the clock. A lot of time off the clock.
14-14 tie, less than 2 minutes to go regulation. Pass up top for Kaufman. Near side Kataya, quickly met by a defender for Princeton. Jason Farrell all over him.
Yeah, they don't want to leave Kataya open on that left side.
Soliday with it. Ryan Powell calls the play from behind the cage. John Harrington applying the defense on him. Less than 90 seconds to play regulation. Crowd on its feet here in the Carrier Dome on the Syracuse side. Powell with it.
Jump. Dump.
Sends out high. Kaufman. Banks. The Cuse working it around. Powell on the doorstep. It's knocked away by the Tigers. Big play for Princeton. Ball loose, and the Tigers come up with the ground ball. On the far side for Princeton with it, Chris Berrier. To the near side, Ted Martell.
Timeout.
And a timeout called by Princeton head coach Bill Tierney. Last timeout for the Tigers in regulation. Syracuse has 1 left to burn.
Well, you know, he's going to go in there and say, all right, guys, we got 59 seconds. Let's just set this up. We don't want to go to overtime. Let's get out of the dome. And that's what he's telling them right now. He's going to set up a special play.
59 seconds to go in regulation. We'll see what Coach Tierney comes up with after this quick break. Back inside the Carrier Dome just moments ago, Dale, the Orange men very patiently worked for a good look, but a big defensive stop by Princeton.
Yeah, they really they were under the gun here. There was like 90 seconds when they started this. Syracuse started this. There was a shot outside of the net. You see the twine ripple, but it was on the wrong side. So it went back, and they cleared the ball and called timeout. They had a big stick over there. There's Bill Tierney, and he has had a minute here to put in a play. Let's see what they come up with. And Syracuse, conversely, has to come up with some sort of a defense to see if they can at least force it to overtime or get the ball on the ground and get it back down and win it themselves.
On that last shot attempted by Powell, you have to give kudos to defenseman Ted Martell, number 35 for Princeton. He was all over Ryan, and Powell didn't get a good look.
That's right. He kept the angle down and made it go on the outside to the inside.
59 seconds to play in regulation. We are even at 14. Tigers have it in the offensive end. Controlling out high, Rob Torty.
And Coach Simmons said he is an excellent player, and he's Jeff Lowe on him.
Near side for Smith. Prager controls it on the near side.
You spread it way out now, and you open up those shooting lanes. They've really spread things out. Hoping to get a little crack there and see if they can make a one-on-one run. Matt Alexander talking to Prager.
Alexander motioning for Prager to come closer to him.
Yep.
And BJ takes it well away from the cage as Princeton does spread the field. 12 seconds to play in regulation. Torty now starts his rush in toward the goal on low. Spins away from Jeff. Sends far side for Prager. Final seconds of regulation. Ball popped loose by the Orangemen. Syracuse whacks it away. We're going to overtime. All even at 14. The next goal wins the game. Big stop by the Syracuse defense.
Excellent. Absolutely right. And that was a good 8-iron shot at the end there. Make sure that that ball was out of harm's way. So they did not get a shot off, and Syracuse did a nice job for 59 seconds, Ted. That's what they had to kill, and they did it. So we go to overtime, buddy.
60 minutes of lacrosse. Dale hasn't settled a thing. We're heading to overtime. It's 14-14. Back inside the Carrier Dome at the end of regulation. 60 minutes of hard-fought lacrosse. We are even. 14-14. Time, Dale, for a sudden victory for either the Syracuse Orangemen or the Princeton Tigers.
Well, it all starts in the face-off circus. Circus? It has been a circus. Out in the face-off circle, and Baylor's out there. I believe that's him for Princeton, number 19, Matt Baylor. And is it, I think, Denneker?
It is.
Yep. And he puts the ball back on the turf.
Syracuse has it. Ryan Powell. He won't waste any time. Powell moving in. Princeton hustling back defensively. And now Syracuse gets the scores onto the field. Overtime just underway here in the Dome. Syracuse will get the first chance offensively.
Yeah, one of the things they want to do is get the right people on. You know, you don't know whether you're going to get the face-off, so you got some defensive folks out there, and you got to get them in. Syracuse did that. They got 3:30 left, and they will take all the time that they need.
Pataya rolls it out to the far side. Coyote now with it out high. Coyote angles in, dumps it back for Josh Kaufman, the freshman from Carthage. Kaufman to Coyote. Princeton packs it in defensively.
Trying to make that big jump, that big slide, and open up that scoring lane, because you can see him packed in there. Syracuse is there, and they jump, shot.
Just wide. Coyote with the shot. Powell backs up the play, so Syracuse keeps it. Good look for Coyote. He just missed wide to the far side.
Good point. Syracuse going to take one of those timeouts. You know, it was a good thing, too, because Popham did not really have that tracked very well. He was screened a little bit, and he didn't see that ball till it was on top of him. It went by, and let's take a look at the stats in the regulation game. Syracuse and Princeton close game, close shots. 35 for Princeton, 34 for SU. Saves 8 and 6. Man up goals, Syracuse very efficient. 4 out of 5 there, 2 of 5 for the Tigers. Clears, Syracuse a little problem early, but Princeton late, so they both come up with 13 out of 17. Ground balls very close, like the game, 41-42. Turnovers the same. And the penalties, 5 for 4 for Princeton, 6 for 5 for SU. Statistics very close. 10 in the game, obviously very close.
Absolutely. The numbers just about even all across the board. Last shot offered by Coyote moments ago.
Yep. He must have tracked it. Earlier I thought he didn't have it. He just saw that it was going wide and let it go. So Corey Popham, who's been great today, and when I say only 8 saves, some of them have been of the spectacular variety. He stoned a couple of people a couple of times from point-blank range. He's had a great game. And Mulligan has not had a bad game, and they put a lot of pressure on Mulligan early. And there's Mully going back out to assume his position. So both goalies have had a good game. This has been a great lacrosse game.
Two of the top college lacrosse programs in the country going to overtime to settle this game. The Orangemen looking to even the score after Princeton, the eventual national champs in 1998, knocked the Orangemen out of the semifinals with an 11-10 win.
Syracuse used their last timeout, Ted. Princeton has 1 left.
Josh Kaufman has it out high.
He's taken way out on top there. He's got Mullet out with that big stick, and now they really kind of trying to spread him out, make him make the big jump.
Coyote backing away. He's met by Princeton defender Gardner Lamott, number 40.
Short stick out there.
Coyote trying to beat his man. Soliday scores!
No, outside.
Oh, it just missed. The fans thought it was in as well. Ball loose, and Princeton will get it. Pop him with it. And now Princeton tries to clear. That looked like it was in, and the fans on the near side thought so as well. Here come the Tigers into the offensive end. They'll try to win it here.
Kind of an unsettled situation now. People coming in, you've got to be able to concentrate. Nice pick behind, oh, clear.
He's open.
Not for long. There's a whistle. Procedure.
And procedure, Syracuse ball. The Orangemen get it back. Bill Tierney on the near side, trying to get the attention of the official, wanting to know what the call was.
Well, he told him it's procedure, and they substituted illegally.
Kaufman tries to spin away from the defender. Ryan Powell hanging around out high. Usually he's behind the cage.
Well, now there's a penalty on the coach. They had to restrain the coach. They had to restrain Tierney. His assistant coach pulled him back in, and now they're calling offsides on.
Flag is down right in front of the Princeton bench area.
Well, I thought they called it on. They called it offside.
And they're talking with John Desko, Syracuse head coach, about the call.
They're definitely offsides. There were only 3 guys on the defensive half of the field. This will be interesting. I don't think this is on Tierney. I think it was an offside call. Somebody signaled offsides. I looked up. Syracuse only had 3 guys in the defensive half of the field. So
the officials conferring down on the turf, right at the 50-yard line, right at midfield.
Walt Munzie, Joe Mars, Bill Ellis. These guys are veteran officials.
Great crew on hand today.
Billy Ellis comes over.
We got a bench pistol on Princeton, and we got offsides on White. They cancel. White continues to carry the ball.
Offsetting penalties, so Syracuse will keep it in the offensive end. Bill Tierney, head coach of the Princeton Tigers.
He's lucky, yeah, he was lucky that because he was doing more than illegally participating. He was chewing on that official's left arm, and they called it. And you know what? It was probably a good call. It's a United Nations call there. You don't want anybody to get hurt, so you kind of you offset it and you give the guys the ball who had the ball. So it stays Syracuse ball. 1:22 left.
How many times have we seen this? The score tied in overtime, and Syracuse's number 22 has the ball.
Oh, big jump.
Pass out high. Chance developing for the Orangemen in front. Kataya tried to shoot before he caught the pass. Ball rolls beyond the sideline. Syracuse loses it. Princeton ball. Minute 6 left to go in the overtime.
All right, Syracuse now has to play defense and hope they can get the ball back. Right now, the important thing is to put some pressure on this clear. Make them make the big mistake and make sure everyone's covered. Now, Mulligan's out of the cage. They tried to sneak a guy on right up here in front of the Princeton bench, number 10, kind of make him blend in with the bench and make sure that he was covered. So Segley went over and covered him.
Syracuse using a very aggressive ride as the Tigers try to clear. Here comes Josh Sims. Jeff Lowe chasing him. Sims trying to win this one-on-one. Lowe goes down. Sims feeds. Smith can't control the pass.
That's a pass.
Orange ball. 43 seconds to go in overtime.
Another turnover.
Marshall Abrams will trigger on the near side.
Well, now they've gotten into problems before with this clear. This is not a gimme, and they're going to force the ball to Mulligan. And then Mulligan ends up usually passing to a guy with a 6-foot pole, and they called timeout. The last time, they don't have any timeouts this time, but they come up with a good solution, and they get the ball to a short stick.
30 seconds left to go in the overtime. 14-14.
Syracuse will take the last shot here and not give Princeton another opportunity and see if they can win it. 20 seconds left.
Kaufman has it behind the goal, trying to bust loose in front. Defender all over him. Spins, and the shot knocked away by Popham. Loose ball. Tigers trying to clear. They can't find it. Big hit by Kataya. Ball loose at midfield.
Oh, they hit with his hand.
The first overtime nearly elapses. 2 seconds left to go. And it will be Princeton ball.
You better be ready. They're gonna. That's it. That's it. They don't get a shot off.
So the first overtime comes to an end, and we are still tied 14-14. Syracuse had a great chance. Looked for a moment like Soliday had scored, but he didn't put it home, and we'll go to another overtime period. 14-14. The Orangemen and Tigers continue on after this on Super Sports. Back inside the Carrier Dome, all even as we go to a second overtime period. Dale will see the big hit by Matt Kataya here.
Ball down, and then watch. He kicks it over, and there's the hit with a hand right there, and that should have been Syracuse. Well, there was 2 seconds left. I guess it becomes a moot point, but they.
That's what Josh Rule was calling for.
Yeah.
Wanted a handball.
Well, he could be an official. Okay, we got the usual crew out there. We got Baylor out there and Denneker for Syracuse. Now they got on the wings. We got 2 big sticks on the wings here for Syracuse. You got Seglia out there, and you got number 43, Marshall Abrams. So each team gets another timeout. So, oh, there's a Ward. Whoa.
Second overtime here in the Carrier Dome. 14-14, Princeton ball on the clear. Long crossfield pass. Unfortunately, a long stick there to pull it in. Kurt Lunkenheimer.
Everybody's got to pick up now. Syracuse just finding everybody they need to pick up on.
Prager dumps it out high to Sims. Onto the field and into the play, Rob Torty. He has it, met by Jeff Lowe. They've matched up all day long.
Just going to say that one-on-one, pardon the pun, all day.
Torty takes it to the far side. Jeff Lowe with a little one-on-one defense. Torty behind a Smith screen, trying to bust free. May have a look. Spin, shoots wide. Princeton keeps it in the offensive end. Strebel backing it up.
That was a great shot. That was hard to see.
Strebel triggers. Rule hacking it. Feed. Smith can't control it. Loose ball rolling toward midfield. Tigers play it. Ground ball taken by Princeton. Syracuse trying to poke check it away. And it's stolen away by Matt Kataya. Looking for Ryan Powell. Kataya angles in. Pass back. Wind up. Shot. Save.
Right stick. He hit him in the stick.
He clears. Trevenin with it into the offensive end. What a game. Princeton into the offensive end. St. George shuts down. Princeton's B.J. Prager. Whistle stops play. Timeout taken by Princeton head coach Bill Tierney.
Oh, that was a great fast break and a nice pass by Kataya. They did a crank shot and they hit Popham right in the stick.
Let's watch it again. Corey Popham making 10 saves today. None bigger than the last one right here.
Good point. Watch this. Ball down. There's the check. Doesn't have it. Kataya's got it. Kataya looking, watch the cross cage feed all the way from the right to the left. Here's the shot. Crank by Kaufman. Bang, right in the stick. And then he got the rebound off his chest. Nice job by Popham. A lot of pressure on these goalies. I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to be out there.
He's a star. Corey Popham, 6-foot senior from Arnold, Maryland, the MVP of the Final Four last year. Piscataway, New Jersey. Princeton Tigers defeated the Orangemen in the semifinals 11-10, and Princeton went on to capture its 3rd straight national title.
Well, I'll tell you what, Princeton has improved every game. I was a little surprised it was 9-6 Cornell yesterday, but they certainly come as advertised. They are giving Syracuse obviously all they can handle, and conversely, Syracuse is pushing them. People were down a little bit on Princeton, lost some games early, but they have come along, Ted, and really are looking to be a fine team. They lost their whole attack, as you said, at the beginning of the game, and they are certainly making up for it now as the season progresses.
Absolutely. They started the season 0-3. They've reeled off 6 wins in a row after losing one of the best attacks ever in college lacrosse. John Hess, Jesse Hubbard, and Chris Massey, they combined for 618 goals. 618 points, rather. But you get the idea.
Right, 618 is still a big number.
Princeton has it in the offensive end. 2:17 to play in the second overtime. Torty with Lowe on it. He takes it outside. Finds Smith. Low pass. Smith knocks it to Sims, his teammate. He can't control it. And Torty gets it back from Sims. Smith open on the near wing. Lines up, shoots, save! Mulligan stones him! And Syracuse will clear. St. George with it. Mulligan matching Popham's save for save. Jeff Lowe takes it into the offensive end.
Now he's a specialist. Coach Simmons said he's not the offensive guy. Let's see what he does. They want to get him off, they get him off. Yeah, he and Alexander come out. 2 defensive specialists whose job is to get the ball and then
Kaufman
give it up.
and Soliday will come on.
Yeah, you'd rather have those 2 guys on. Soliday, a great outside shooter from the left-hand side. Let's see what they do with him. He's got a real hard shot. Syracuse takes their last timeout.
The Orangemen call a timeout as well. 1:16 left to go in the second overtime. 14-14 will break away with the break in the action down on the turf as well. We'll come back with a thrilling conclusion to the second overtime after this. 1:16 left to go in the second overtime, Dale. Both goalies making huge saves here in the second overtime period.
Well, this is the one everybody thought was in, but Popham just did a great job of stopping that. And then on his counterpart, look at this crank shot, and Mulligan tracked that sucker down, got the rebound up, and they're right back where they started from. Rob Mulligan, 7 saves. Both goalies have played very, very well.
Syracuse ball after the timeout called by head coach John Desko. The Orangemen working around the perimeter with a little more than a minute to go in the second overtime period. Syracuse has outshot Princeton in the overtime, 4-2. Pass out high, a look for Syracuse. Coyote fires wide, Kataya backs up the play. Syracuse keeps it, 57 seconds to go in the second OT.
You're gonna have to adjust that cage there. The goalie hit the cage, and it was not where it was supposed to be. I think it's reset now, and Syracuse will reset with 57 seconds left in the second overtime.
Ryan Powell has it. Behind the net, Powell trying to break loose in front. Sends away for Coyote after the double team came. Near side for Banks, the freshman in. You're in the second overtime period. Kataya brings it behind the net. Chased down by Princeton defender. Time dwindling down on the Orange possession here in the second OT.
Jason Farrell, 45, was on Kataya, did a nice job back out here to Kaufman.
Josh Kaufman controls. Dumps it off for Ryan Powell. Kaufman with it, the freshman from Carthage. Down to 10 seconds to go in the second overtime. Kaufman lost the ball. Scramble for possession. Princeton has the ground ball. Will the Tigers have enough time for a shot on the cage? It's fired. Mulligan knocks it away, and that ends the second overtime period. We will go to a third overtime here in the Carrier Dome, all even at 14 apiece. What a marathon this game has become. We will take a break as there's a break in the action on the turf. third overtime ahead, 14 aside. Dale, just seconds ago, Robbie Mulligan actually had to make a save here. The long shot from the long stick, Scott Farrell.
Yeah, Farrell took a shot. It was on the cage. And I'm telling you, that, you think, wow, geez, he's 50 yards away. What can happen? He put that one on the cage, and Mulligan made the save. That counts as a save.
And it would have counted with 1 second to go in the second overtime. 15 face-offs apiece, and this crucial draw is won by Princeton. The third overtime is underway. Baylor has it near side. Strebel behind the cage. The teams switch up at midfield. Sims back on for Princeton. And also on for the Tigers, Rob Torty, who will take the ball out high. Lowe comes out to meet him. Keep in mind, both of these teams played yesterday.
Right.
Third overtime here in the Dome today. Torty brings it behind the goal. Jeff Lowe chasing him down. Princeton clears out for Torty to go one-on-one, trying to lose Lowe. Jeff pushes him outside.
He's really gotten better defensively on him. Torty had a goal or two early. Jeff Lowe's done a good job on him. And you heard Coach Simmons say he's a good one, Torty. And Simmons knows all about this guy. And Lowe football player's done a good job on him.
Prager with 4 goals today. Matt Alexander on him. Whistle.
Timeout.
And timeout taken by Princeton head coach Bill Tierney. Each team gets a fresh timeout with each overtime period. And Tierney will use his here.
Calls everybody over. Let's see what's going on. See what we think is going to work. And we'll check back in with those guys in a second or two, Ted.
We'll take a timeout as well. More from the Dome after this. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome. The third overtime period underway. 2:51 left to go. 14-14, Syracuse and Princeton. Princeton with the ball after the timeout called before our break by head coach Bill Tierney.
And they had all the time in the world there to talk and set up this play. That's Strebel with the ball with Rule on him.
Princeton running a design play. The play discussed during the timeout. The Tigers trying to win it on this possession. Lauren Smith has it. He'll circle behind the cage. Marshall Abrams chasing him. Robbie Mulligan between the pipes for the Orangemen. Syracuse has outshot Princeton since the end of regulation, 5-3. Smith dumps it away out high for Matt Trevenin. Alexander following him. Trevenin looking for Baylor, instead works around him. And now Princeton is bottled up behind the goal. Smith comes loose. A Syracuse player went down. He lost the ball. Couldn't shoot. Robbie Mulligan has it. Syracuse clear. Ahead for Abrams. He scored earlier in the game. Marshall Abrams with that long stick.
Get rid of it, Marshall.
Dumps it off. Devin D'Arcangelo with it. Actually, Matt Alexander, I should say.
He's standing there with the ball, or with the stick up. Marshall Abrams looking for the ball. Now he goes back on defense.
Pataya dumps it away for Coyote. Josh Kaufman onto the field. Jeff Lowe comes off. Minute 30 left to go in the third overtime.
Look for Syracuse to call a timeout, too, if they don't get what they want right away. We've got a lot of time. Minute 20, 24. But
whistle and the timeout taken by Syracuse head coach John Desko. A minute 21 left to go in the third overtime. More from the Dome after this break. Minute 21 left to go in the third overtime. Dale, a 14-14 tie, and we'll see what the Orangemen come up with after the timeout taken by Syracuse head coach John Desko. That man, Princeton's head coach Bill Tierney, talked defense with his team, and Corey Popham is on the spot now in goal.
Well, he knows pressure. He's been on some national championship teams, 3 to be exact, so this kid knows what pressure's all about.
Syracuse starts the play. The end of the third overtime. Coyote has it on the far side. Kaufman out high. Soliday in the play as well. Pass near side, Pataya. Out high, Kaufman. Syracuse works it around counterclockwise. Coyote shoots. Looked like it may have caught the post. Princeton ball. 50 seconds remaining in the third overtime. Tigers hustling up the field. Pass to a long stick. And it comes to the near side for Smith. He sends behind the goal for Princeton's Matt Strebel. Trying to break loose in front and lose his man. Ball pops free. Syracuse has it. Kaufman with it. Ahead for Marshall Abrams once again. Up the center of the field. Abrams trying to score. In an unsettled situation, he'll dump it off to Powell instead.
He needed some help, and it's a good thing he saw Powell, because get back on side there. That was very close. Now they got 12 seconds left. Are they going to get a shot off?
Syracuse fans want the Orangemen to start moving the ball around with just seconds to go in the third overtime. Ryan Powell trying to break free. Centering pass out high. Coyote has to shoot. Gets it away for Banks. Extra pass made. Oh. Shot knocked down by Popham. Kataya had it. That's the end of the third overtime. 3 overtimes in the books, and we are still tied up 14-14. A break in the action down on the field as the two teams get set for the 4th overtime period. We'll come back with more from the Dome after this timeout. Still 14-14. Fourth overtime underway here in the Carrier Dome. 14-14 tie. Syracuse and Princeton, fresh 4 minutes on the clock. Ball loose on the far side, and the possession
Princeton
will go to Princeton. Fourth overtime just getting underway here in the Carrier Dome. 14-14, Syracuse and the Princeton Tigers. Princeton trying to end this marathon with a goal on this possession. Smith has it out high. Syracuse applying the close man-to-man defense.
I thought they might just try a bull rush right at the goal. Say, let me try to end this. Maybe I can get a penalty. But you know what? They'll have to mug somebody, right out in front of everybody in order to get a penalty called. No official wants to call a penalty unless it's a lot of damage done.
Torty moving in toward the goal. Pushed away by the Syracuse defender, Jeff Lowe. Low shot. Mulligan comes up with the save. It's loose in front, and Mulligan has it in his cross. Princeton Tigers like bees hanging around him. He dumps it away. St. George got it off to Matt Alexander. He comes into the offensive end. Kataya circling behind the goal. Princeton with some time to set up the defense now. Kataya trying to lose his man. Uses a roll dodge to get free. Tried to find Banks, but it's thrown away. Banks held up by a Princeton defender on the play.
Farrell, 45, was on him, did a nice job, and forced that long looping pass that went out of bounds, and so it's back the other way now on a turnover. Watch the pass. There's long pass. He was actually looking, obviously, for the cutter for Liam Banks, but it was way over his head. Syracuse got to put a good ride on now. And they cut back.
Princeton on the clear. Pass taken on the near side by Baylor. Outstanding face-off man for the Tigers. Baylor works behind the screen, doesn't shoot though. Gets it away for Smith on the far side. Tigers reset the offense.
Oh, good check.
Josh Rule knocked it away. Comes to Mulligan. He sends away for Marshall Abrams. Whistle stops play. We'll see what this call is. Procedure. Looked to be the initial indication.
That's against Princeton.
And it will be Syracuse ball.
Too many men in the field. Watch this check. That's a check and a half by Josh Rule. That's a 6'5", 235-pound check. That's what that is. That's where the stick gets jammed right in your sternum. The ball went down. He wisely let Mulligan pick it up, and then Mulligan made an outlet pass, and then a procedure penalty against Princeton gave Syracuse the ball.
Soliday has it.
Too many men in the field.
Ball taken away by Princeton.
Not much of an opportunity there. Syracuse didn't do much.
Gardner Lamont brings it ahead for the Princeton Tigers. Sims moving in on the goal.
Oh, nice check. Seglia.
Tigers trying to score in the unsettled situation. Smith couldn't handle the pass. Abrams chasing it down to the far side. This game has become a defensive struggle. More than 18 minutes of playing time without a goal. Syracuse trying to end it here. Spinning for the shot, shooting wide for the Orangemen as he went down to the turf. Syracuse's Matt Alexander.
I'm surprised they haven't had to do any CPR up here. People are going up and down, and this one really got him because the ball looked like it might go, went wide, and then there was a race for the ball. Syracuse got it, and Syracuse takes a timeout, 1:27 left.
Syracuse timeout taken by head coach John Desko. The Orangemen have outshot Princeton since the end of regulation, 7-5. And with this stoppage in play, 1:27 left to go in the fourth OT, Princeton head coach Bill Tierney has a chance to coach his defense. Syracuse will design a scoring play during the break, and Princeton will come up with a way to try to stop it.
Well, you'd think 28 goals, you wouldn't be talking about defense, but it has been spectacular. The truck told us since 2 minutes left to go in regulation, we've been about 18 minutes without a score, and that's a real credit to these defensive players.
For 10 Syracuse seniors, their last regular season game in the Carrier Dome. The Orangemen close out the '99 campaign with 3 games on the road. April 30th at UMass, then May 4th just down the thruway at Hobart. 4 days later, another road trip to Georgetown. Then May 14th, the 1999 NCAA tournament gets underway. The Orangemen currently ranked 4th in the nation, hoping for a first-round bye. John Desko talking with his Orange troops. Syracuse has the ball, 1:27 left to go in the fourth overtime period. And the crowd here in the Carrier Dome, more than 6,000 strong, would love to see their Orangemen win the ball game on this trip up the field.
In overtime, yeah.
Turnovers.
7-6. Good call by our turnover statistician, Rick Ellison. Oh, that's off of Syracuse. He's going to have to adjust that to a Syracuse turnover. Right off of Casey Powell's stick. So
very
it's
disappointing.
7-7 in the turnover department.
So the Tigers get it right back. So the Orangemen squander that chance after burning a timeout. Princeton ball. Tigers on the clear. Corey Popham, the keeper, sends it up the field on the far side. Finally hauled in by Chris Berrier. Berrier met by Lowe. He'll bring it behind the cage.
Timeout.
Whistle and a timeout taken by Princeton head coach Bill Tierney. Once again, every time we go to a fresh 4 minutes, each side gets a fresh timeout, and the head coaches are taking full advantage. Fourth overtime, 1:04 left to go, 14-14. Our producer Jeff Steyer, director Mark Ballard, our entire Time Warner 13 crew putting in a lot of overtime for this one.
They had to send out to Bob's house a videotape here. We're running out of tape.
Rob Mulligan between the pipes for the Orangemen. May have to come up big again. Princeton with the ball after a timeout. Neither team has any timeouts remaining here in this fourth overtime. Starting the rush, Sims. Seglia backs him out. Strebel with the ball for the Tigers.
Torty was alone on top for a long time. Fans a little upset, but they got him covered again, but he was signaling for the ball.
Prager has it. Alexander checking him.
Alexander, one-on-one, good, obviously, defender. Ball down.
Sims reels in. Sims trying to bust free, has a chance, shoots and scores, and the Princeton Tigers win it with 25 seconds to go in the fourth overtime, 15-14. The goal scored by our key player, oh so long ago, Dale, Josh Sims. A heartbreaking loss for the Syracuse Orangemen.
Everybody applauding, however. They have seen a great lacrosse game, 2 great teams, and Syracuse players just distraught over that. Standing ovation, though, Teddy.
A lot of class shown by both the Syracuse and Princeton fans. What a great lacrosse game. And with these two teams, you're talking about 2 of the elite teams in all of college lacrosse. The Princeton Tigers win it in 4 overtimes, 15-14 over the Orangemen. We'll talk with Syracuse head coach John Desko after this. Welcome back to the Carrier Dome. The final after 4 overtimes. The Princeton Tigers pull it out, a 15-14 win over the Syracuse Orangemen, along with Dale Drypolcher. I'm Ted DeLuca. We're now joined by the head coach of the Syracuse Orangemen down on the field, John Desko. Coach, thank you so much for your assistance all season long. What a heartbreaker today. Very hard-fought battle and very tough to lose games like this one.
Yeah, it is a tough loss today. The number of overtimes, heck, I'm tired just watching. I can't imagine these guys on the field. My hat's off to Princeton. They did a great job today. They played great defense, in the first half and down the stretch. And, I think we dug ourselves a little bit of a hole in the first half, and they did a terrific job off the ball. But I'm proud of our guys, too. We settled down in the second half, and, we played a little bit better defense. We caught up, tied it up, had the lead a couple times, and didn't take care of the ball like we wanted to. But we had plenty of opportunities in the second half and in the overtimes to win the game. So I'm proud of our guys.
John, you just from up here, you can tell your kids took it hard. What did you tell them after the game? I saw you all got around you, and I saw you talking to them quite earnestly.
Well, it was, again, an emotional game. The 2 games in a row took its toll on both teams. You could see some of the turnovers in the fourth period and the overtimes. I think they were kind of fatigued turnovers and, a couple mental errors due to just being a little bit tired. But I told them that I was proud of these guys, and, we brought it back. We could have folded at halftime, but we didn't. And we showed a little Syracuse heart there. And I was proud of our guys. We just didn't get the last one, and Josh Sims is a great player. He's a first-team All-American, and great players make great plays.
Coach, best of luck down the road as the regular season winds to a close. 3 games on the road, then off to the playoffs. Continued success. Thanks for your time.
Well, thank you. We just got to get after the next one now.
John Desko, head
Thanks.
coach of the Syracuse Orangemen. He's done a fantastic job his first year at Syracuse after taking over for a legend.
Stand-up guy. Always helps us on television. Thanks a lot, John.
Well, it was a tough one. The tough thing about games like this, one team's got to win, one's got to lose. Today, the Princeton Tigers take it in 4 overtimes, 15-14 over the Syracuse Orangemen. We really hope you enjoyed our coverage from the Carrier Dome today. For our producer, Jeff Steyer, and director Mark Ballard, our entire Time Warner 13 crew, and for Dale Drypolcher, I'm Ted DeLuca. We'll see you again really soon here. This has been a presentation of Super Sports.